I know I said this last time, but I really should know when my own song that I've been using for 4 years is over. But hello, good evening, and thank you for the pet. Hi, welcome back to even more coughing, apparently. No, welcome back to even more 999. Because I like 999, and I'm not really doing much else. Aside from starting a bunch of games and then apparently just ignoring that I have another game started as well, but I felt more like doing 999. 999 is very good. It is. It is indeed very good. Hello. To be fair, we are not that far in. I'm hoping to reach our first ending today, which is definitely going to be a very happy ending. Yes. Let me see. Yes, that is where I would like to load. Time for everybody to die. Maybe. What do you mean? People don't die in this game. Right, and I definitely didn't suspend them all in the whole, hey, you have 81 seconds to make sure you don't get exploded. That was not proper English. But, you know, I forgot about that. I was like, oh yeah, that's fine. We'll just stop right there before they before they have to run for their life to try. Surely nothing bad will happen. No, in this game, no, nothing bad will happen. Let's make it so they don't explode. Let's do that. Let's keep going. The world's longest 81 seconds, 6 whole days. It's okay, they don't know they were suspended in time. Well, I had the game off. They don't know that. They stumbled into the room. Frantically, Junpei scanned the room. His eyes stopped on a device that would determine whether they lived or died. Next to the door they'd come through was the dead. As one, they ran to it. They put their hands over it as if they were fighting for it. Well, it is kind of a fight for their life, so we are we are good and well on our way to our first ending. So I think two more rooms, but it's our first ending. There we go. We won't die now. At least not because of the bombs. Junpei could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. Ace and Clover were breathing hard and fast. You really shouldn't. I don't think that's good for any part of your health. Alright. Junpei looked around again, this time more slowly. What room is this again? He took hold of the knob and easily, gently pulled it open. Ah! The wheelhouse, that's where we're at. Okay, I remember. He closed the door again and turned to Ace and Clover. He fixed each in turn with a meaningful stare and then spoke.
一宮、あんたは隣の操舵室を調べてくれ。
Okay.
四つ葉、お前の担当はこの部屋だ。
And what are you going to do?
返事。
わかったよ。
よし、それじゃあ始めよう。探索開始だ。
Least traumatized person in this room right now. Yeah, okay. That should be manageable. Shiko, way out. We're in the chart room. Okay. Oh. Would you look at that? A stack of nautical charts. Okay, I do not know how to read those, but maybe we'll find something that will help us read them. A world map with the Atlantic Ocean in the center. There are a number of red pins in several locations. What do these red pins mean? Well, the nautical charts I picked up earlier have a map like this one. Maybe one of them matches up to the pins or something. Aha! Let's see. What do you know? Looks like this one's a match to the pins. Okay, so we got 7 locations connected by straight lines. And each one has a word next to it. That's probably the speed. New material has been added to the file screen. Nautical. This one. Nautical table found in the chart room. It shows directions of southwest, southwest, northwest, east, north, and straight. There is a word next to each point on the map. Full, half, slow, full, half, dead, stop. Full, half. Slow, full, half. Okay. Let me write that down. Full, half. Slow, full, half, dead. And stop. Probably going to be important sometime later. Excuse me. What else do we have? Shelves are lined with books. Let's see what's in this blue one. There's something written on it. Ship's log. Ah! Ship's log, huh? Ship's log. Ship's log found in the chart room. The following is written on the last page. We leave soon for a new journey across the sea. After leaving port, we headed south and west. We turned southwest to steer around the continent, then proceeded northwest. We made port, then changed our heading to east for a time, and are now heading due north. Soon we will dock in the United Kingdom, the homeland of this vessel. Mayhaps important? Hold on. South, west. Southwest, northwest, port, east, and north. Wowzers! Hello, hello. How are you? It's a wooden box, maybe a case for letters. Clover, you ever write letters? Nothing. Well, she's not going to be one for talking right now. Not really. Pretty empty desk. My brother's desk looked a lot like this, because he couldn't see. He never put stuff on it that he didn't need. Damn, that's... What am I supposed to say to that? Poor kid. Doing well, going swell. I'm glad to hear that. A pocket watch. Hi, Jin. Good evening. A voicey unexpected startled Junpei from his examination of the pocket watch. Yeah, sure. He spun around to find Ace standing in the doorway. Junpei shrugged and handed him the pocket watch. How did he even see that all the way from the doorway? Not gonna lie. You love these games? Hell yeah, me too. I love the Zero Escape games. You absolutely owned it? Nice. Good job.
おいおい、なんであんたがこっちの部屋に来てんだよ。
ちょっと様子を見に来ただけだよ。行けないのかい？
Not a problem, but...
別に行けないってわけじゃないが。
Junpei looked desperately around the room, anywhere but at Ace, trying to find a convincing reason to dismiss him. Ace opened his mouth and took another look at Junpei and shouted again. A small smirk appeared on his face. What do you see? I don't like that. What do you see? He looked Junpei over, then glanced at Clover.
No.
I escaped you by an annoying pat on the shoulder and left. Okay. The grind wasn't for you. It's one of the few games you ever got to stream. You had a fun time with it. Oh, really? Wait, you got 3 endings? You would only be missing 1 more. If you got 3 different endings, you would only be missing one more, which is the true ending. unless you ran into the one where it cuts you off before the true ending, if you haven't found a few other keys on the other endings. But generally, okay, no, hold on. Technically, this game has 5 endings. I'm just saying that if you know exactly where to go, you will most likely not run into one of them. I have played this before, yes. We try not to spoil people here who might not who might not know, but I have played this game before several times. You played these with a guide and didn't feel bad about it, which is fair. Absolutely fair and honest, and I'm never going to make anyone feel bad for using guides. I pretty much all the time play my games with guides, by the way. Because I hate wasting time by going down the wrong route, for example, and then having to backtrack. Usually, I try to also go in the recommended play order for games, so I pretty much always have to use a guide. Technically 6. Wait, hold on. Now I have to... Wait. Which one am I forgetting that I think it's 5? Oh. No, it's only 5. Ending? True ending. And the one cuts you off. That cuts you off. Never mind. Does the name that references a certain Beatles song? Yeah, I think I know which one you mean. Okay, yeah. But like, without spoiling, this game has 3 endings that you can safely say are bad endings. But then 1 ending you need to get if you want access to the true ending, and then 1 ending that will cut you off if you haven't gotten that one yet. I'm not going to name them because that's going to spoil something that happens in them. But there's 3 bad endings basically. Then there's 1 ending that you need to make it through a specific story lock basically. And if you don't have that one, you're going to get 1 other ending. But this 1 ending specifically, like if you have the story unlocked, then it's just going to continue on from there. So I tend to not count it because it's never an ending for me because I always collect every single thing I need before. You don't think you come back to this game? Yeah, I think most people here already know the game, funnily enough. I think most of us here are like, oh yeah, we know what's going to happen, but we're still going to enjoy it again anyway. Which is nice. Did I? What was my game? Did I say? Oh yeah, I think I said which one I'm going for last. So anyway, let me have a sip real quick and then. La la la. You didn't hear that. You don't remember what I said last week. Anyway, we're hoping to get a specific ending today and then hopefully also continue on. It shouldn't be that long. We are very close to the ending of this route. Have inspiration from both Danganronpa and Zero Escape? Absolutely. I do want to play Your Turn to Die on stream once it's actually fully complete, because I've already forgotten pretty much everything that happens in the parts that are already out. So I would like to play it again, but also, oh my god, that is going to be a lot of reading and a lot of content. So, no reason he could fathom, Junpei's head began to hurt. Don't think about it too hard, Junpei. A sharp pain in his head. Oh, never mind. Maybe think about it a little harder. What's happening? How much time passed? He wasn't sure. But he did notice when Ace strode through the door. His smile was more of a smirk, and he had the air of a man who knew more than his opponent.
そうそう。一つ確かめておきたいことがあったんだ。
なんだよ。
ちょっといいかな?
With no warning, Ace slipped his hand into the pocket of Junpei's vest.
おい、何すんだよ。
Ah! We totally didn't cheat last
人
time.
のポケットの中に手を突っ込むなんて。おい、やめろって。
He reached for Ace's arm. But it was already too late. Yeah. In the older man's hand was a piece of paper Junpei had balled up and hidden in his pocket. To be fair, I think pretty much everyone was thinking he had cheated to get this room. But yeah, Ace is one of the only people who actually could try and make him admit to it or find out this way. Resident Evil was the last part of nice. I think it might come out, yeah. I mean, it's coming to Steam like full on properly as well. So definitely. I think I bought that one manga volume digitally of Your Turn to Die as well. I did read it even. I don't remember anything, but I did read it. There's only 2 endings in which you choose the one. Yeah. Well, I thought we might as well go this way. We might as well go this way.
なるほどな、やっぱりか。すり替えたんだな、例の開票の時に。
Maybe.
まあ、私は別に構わないんだがね。こうして自分の希望するナンバリングドアに入れたわけだし。
じゃあ。
何、ただの好奇心だよ。気を悪くしないでくれたまえ。
He smiled, gave Junpei a friendly pat on the shoulder, and then turned on his heel and left. That was weird and awkward, and I don't like this man. It was a small defeat, but it was a defeat. Junpei had lost the upper hand, and he knew it. He could feel his stomach begin to tense. Well, that was awkward. What else? Oops. What else do we have in this room that we haven't checked out yet? I wish the game was a little more obvious in what things I could click on. Let's see. What the fuck are you? Ah! Okay, I definitely need to put that order in. Okay. Oh! That looks like a place for my pocket watch. Maybe. But it's locked. Looks like this is some sort of lock. It's got a weird shaped indentation on it. Shape. Maybe. It does look like a pocket watch would fit here. Nothing. I imagine the pocket watch is intended to go in there. However, we may need to do something with the watch first. Okay, damn. Sorry, I don't know everything about this game off the top of my head anymore. A compass. It appears to be broken, however. You see, the glass cover has been smashed to pieces. I don't actually see, but okay, if you say so. Helm. Well, steering wheel might be a more appropriate term. Do you think this one does anything? This thing won't budge. Feels like there's something keeping it in place. What would be the point of moving it? The ship is stopped. What would be the use of steering it? I know, still. There might be something else connected to it. Nope, that is just... okay. What are you? Compass? No. Assume it's just like the other one, metal plates bolted over the windows. Not just bolted, looks like they've been welded on. No way in hell are we going to get those off anytime soon. What else haven't I clicked on yet? Anything in here? This isn't good. So many drawers, but nothing inside of them. Damn. And I can't even click on these. There's another room on the other side of the window. Oh. Okay. Oh. Some kind of display. Looks a little like an electronic scoreboard. I imagine it was added recently. A arrival board like at an airport. There's nothing on it right now though. Where is it? No, that's where we came from. Never mind. Too many doors. Too many doors. And this one is locked. The only exit. It's a wooden board with a circular hole in it. Okay, that's nice. I don't remember. Compass needles pointing north. That's nice. Don't remember. Oh, I suppose you could call it a helm steering wheel. Okay. Can I turn this guy? Well, polished steering wheel looks like it still moves. It still moves. And how do I turn it? Okay. An engine order telegraph. They use this on old ships to adjust the speed of the ship. Like the gear shift in a car. Well, it's a little different. This device doesn't connect directly to the engine. In short, it's a transmitter. The navigation officer uses it to set the speed of the ship, and it sends a signal to the engine. There's a handle on top of it, which can be moved back and forth to... Hold on. Huh? There's no handle. You're right, there isn't. It looks as though it was deliberately removed. Ah! Okay, can I turn the steering wheel then? It says it still moves. Steering wheel, let's see if it... Aha! Looks like the steering wheel moves. So it would seem. I noticed something else as well. What's that? Well, when you move this wheel, the compass also moves. What do you mean? The ship. It's moving. Tricked you, didn't I? The wheel and the compass must be connected to one another somehow. You think that's important? Well, let's try turning it again. Ah, there we go. I would like to go south and stop. And then... Wait, what is it? South and then... Wait, no, west. So even further south, west. And then... southwest? Northwest? Then there was a stop? I'm unsure how to put a... I mean, okay, yeah, sure. Wow, stop. We are stopped, I don't know. East. And north. That sounds good, I think. You don't remember this puzzle? Me neither. Me neither. What the? The handle came off. Stooping so low, are you zero? Oh, we got a handle. I got a handle on things. So I show if this handle fits. It fits. Excellent. That should allow us to operate the engine or the telegraph. Let's give it a shot. Okay, next one. So we want full, half, slow, full, half, dead, and stop. Huh. That's weird. I thought I put in the right speed. Did I mess up? No, I don't think so. Look, something's happened on the back wall of the wheelhouse. Yeah, you're right. Let's check it out. On the back wall? Back wall? Back wall? Ah! The back wall! There's something on the wall that looks kind of like an arrival board. There are a whole bunch of words on the left side of the display. What the hell is this? The names of ports across the world. I imagine it's showing us the ship's route. You know, just like the ones you might see at an airport. Departing carrier flight at blah blah blah. Like that. Oh, I get it. It does look like those are the names of all the ports along the ship's route. Looks like only one of those has a time on it though. Time on the last line, right? 10 seconds past 3 o'clock. Perhaps that's the arrival time. Are the words supposed to be blurry? Yes. You're not... Rostock? I have no idea. Santos? El Paso, Rostock? Santos? El Paso, Rostock? That one looks like love. Santos. I don't know. But I think they are supposed to be that blurry. So wait, 3 after... I don't remember my buttons every time we play this game. I do not want to return to the title screen. I would like to open my items. There we go. Can I go pocket watch with this spring? It doesn't appear to be working. My hands have stopped at 5 minutes 39 seconds past 10 o'clock. Turning the knob does nothing. Totally broken. I just thought you could move the hands, however. Let me try moving the hands then. Okay, maybe I need to try and put it in there again. Looks like lum to me. Maybe it is. I don't think it's supposed to be red in the first place. Supposed to put the pocket watch in this hole, but yeah, but... Oh, wait. Maybe I need to use the pocket watch on this for them to realize to put this time in. Just a scoreboard or something like that. On the left side is blah, 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 blah. Last line says 10 seconds past 3 o'clock. That must be the estimated time of arrival at the final port. Oh, perhaps. What's he doing? Excuse me, Junpei. Hey, he just took my pocket watch. What the hell are you doing? Just trust me. Thank you! Yeah. Yeah. I am happy I'm gonna get out of there. I am deeply and darkly afraid of what the hell I'm going to do. And also, yes, I am very much looking forward to the new Layton game. I've been excited for it ever since they first announced it, which has been a while. It was a while ago now, so I'm like, oh my god, give it to me. I'm assuming it's probably only going to come out towards the end of the year though, so it's going to be a while longer. Thank you for that, Ita. You really hope it was nothing but misinfo? Well, I'm just glad they're not going to make it a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive, because God knows I'm not going to get that thing anytime soon. Should be fine now. Thanks for giving me the pocket watch back, but you don't need to look so smug about it. Let's see what he... Oh, he moved the hands. 10 seconds past 3 o'clock. So you changed it to match the final arrival time. Ace nodded slowly. You know what to do next, right? Give it a shot. Oh, this is where I... What? Well, I heard nothing about that, so I really hope that's just some weird hearsay. I can't imagine a company or a group like level 5 stooping to that level. I really hope not. That would be horrible. No intention of getting that soon either. I do have a PS5. I do have a PS5, so I don't need. I have games on all consoles, which is honestly kind of worse because it's like, oh god, where am I gonna get it? We just extrapolated from that. Oh. Oh. I really hope not. It doesn't fit a company like level 5. Please. Okay, let's try this. There we go. Yes! It says open now. Good work. Seems you were successful. Well done, Junpei. Hey! Clover! What? Look, we unlocked the door. Now we can get out of this room. Oh. Well, let's go then. Clover. Well, she's not gonna be very happy in the foreseeable future. I mean, me too. I am absolutely going to look into that before getting it. But also, the longer it takes for the new Layton game to come out, the more of a chance I have at replaying the ones we haven't actually done on stream yet. So we can go into it full force. We have 3 more games. Technically 4. 5. If we count spin-offs. Oh god. Hee. I need to get my ass in gear and stream more often. I have played the first 3 on stream.
通路
So, even though we played them in English, I still can't remember the English names because I'm too used to the German names, but... Curious Village? Pandora's Box? And Unbound Future, which has a different title depending on which version you play. Unbound Future and the other one I can't remember. So we're still missing the other 3. The second trilogy. And the Layton Brothers mobile spin-off. And Catriel Layton technically. Oh wait, no, one more game then. And also the Layton versus Ace Attorney game, technically. So I have no idea how I'm going to play that, since it's stuck on the 3DS. As are the last 2 Layton games as well. Oh, Diabolical Box, yeah! Exactly. They're good games, you should play them. You should play the others. The Catriel game I'm not a fan of. No, it's not... It's very pretty, but it suffers from a lot of things. Like, one, okay, it features a completely new protagonist, so, But I could look past that if the entire game didn't feel like an extreme backtracking simulator with a protagonist who kind of felt like I was watching an episode of Dora the Explorer. With no stakes at all, and just bloated playtime. Sorry, I need to rant about this for a second. Bloated playtime for nothing at all. Like, the other Layton games are all... You do have to think a little outside the box and think, okay, you know what? I don't think something like this could work with our technological advancements and without any magic involved, but whatever. It's a Layton game. I get it. It's fine. But the Catriel game is like, okay, here's Layton's daughter, who is a private detective, who doesn't really have much going for her, not gonna lie. She has a talking dog that she kind of runs into. This dog can talk. That's just a thing. Okay, we have had talking animals in Layton before. Luke specifically can understand animals. That's a thing. But this dog can just talk. And she has this guy who helps her out. But every single case in Catriel, it's not an overarching thing. Technically, yes, the story does give you an overarching theme by the end. But every single case is like this one-off thing, and once it's closed because she's a detective. You feel no sense of dread. You feel nothing. Some cases are better, some are way worse, and like half of the game was just waiting for it to be over because it's simply bloated in the sense of, you know, in Unbound Future, you had a lot of running around. Like, that was the longest game. When it came out, for sure, way longer than the others, because it had a bunch of, okay, you go back, you go to someplace else, and you have to backtrack. But Catriel has like 5 locations, and through all of these cases, you see the same 5 locations, and you just go 4 and back, and 4 and back, and even further back, and 4. I'm like, okay. I played it, and it took me a really long time, and I was just happy I was done by the end of it. I, to this day, still haven't finished actually watching the anime for it either, because I was just not feeling it. Even though the one good thing that came from Catriel, the ending of the game, is that it canonized the Layton Brothers spin-off game that is still a mobile exclusive, that they're probably never going to touch upon ever again, because it's old as hell at this point, and who fucking cares what I do? It's one of my favorite games of all time. It canonized it, but that's it. Like, sorry, that's the best thing Catriel did for me. It canonized another game in the Layton series. The the misinformation is crazy. But yeah, but they specifically like announced it that they're going to bring it for the Switch and the Switch 2. Level 5 specifically said that themselves, and they were like, okay, on the Switch 2, it's going to have some graphical advancements or whatever. And I'm like, I really don't think it's going to look that different, but whatever. I am going to get it. And I did look at the trailer again because I really liked it. So I'm hoping for the best. Secondhand to have it on a shelf because you like her design a lot. Very valid. I don't remember actually. I think I played it on the 3DS and I didn't. No, I don't have it on the 3. A friend lent it to me. A friend lent Catriel to me because I was so disappointed in the game I didn't even end up buying it for myself. And now I'm like, maybe I should just for the whole, having all of the games. But on the other hand, I'm like, no. I'm sorry. It's a very weak entry. Like, obviously, it's a little hard. It's like, okay, here's a new protagonist and everything. But in pretty much all aspects, it just kind of under-delivered. Aside from the UI and the gameplay being very good, because they really, especially the Switch version, aside from, I think there's one specific puzzle they still haven't fixed after all these years. There's like one puzzle that bugs your game. It's very good to play, going from something like the DS with its touch screen to something like the Switch version. It's pretty good. So I'm hoping actually with the new one coming out and hopefully selling well, that they might go back and port and remake and update the other games, because we have HD versions of the first 3 games specifically locked to mobile devices though, like so iOS and Android. And I'm like, okay, so that's the first trilogy. What about the other 3 games? And also what about literally everyone else who doesn't buy games on mobile devices? Because why the fuck would you do that to yourself? I'm sorry, I am a snob when it comes to that. I did buy all 3 of them. I am allowed to say this. I played all 3 of them to 100%. Still, who buys games on mobile devices? Because of the same Decimal Large says, I do want to get around to Raincoat actually at some point, but I am someone who hasn't actually finished Danganronpa V3 8 years after the fact. So, this, what we're playing right now, is Zero Escape. Specifically 999, the first game in the series, but I'm ranting about the latent games. You hopes for E3 and Odyssey having had the first 3 remastered? Oh, maybe. I mean, we do have E3 and Odyssey on Steam now, so chances are there. Hopefully, maybe. You didn't want your fave to die. that's very valid, but I'm sorry to say they did probably die, even if you didn't finish it. Okay, let's get these people through this hallway. Okay, the hallway that's not a hallway because it's too narrow. They found themselves in a small space outside of the wheelhouse. On the left was a wooden door. You didn't want to experience myself. So true. I never finished V3 because I was playing it on the Vita and I had so much... No, wait, I was playing it on the PS4 and I had so much trouble shooting down the arguments by everyone else. And the only way I could do it is by playing it on the Vita, because there was this one skill where you could use the back touchpad on the Vita to shoot them down. And I could not. There was so much. The arguments by everyone else when they tried to, get in your way, they were always, I could never shoot down the stuff I needed to. I got so frustrated. I never finished it. I was in chapter 5, which I think is the final chapter of V3. And to this day, since 2017, I think the game came out and I played it, I haven't finished it. I should. But beating this game is going to take a while longer. We're trying to reach our first bad ending, and I'm not doing a good job of that. There's still another chapter. Damn it! I'm not even free. I do have to to finish it though. I did like Danganronpa at the time when I played them. It's now been years, so who knows how I'm going to look at all of the writing and characters now. But still, I did like them back then.
行こう。
Junpei pushed it open and stepped into the room beyond. Absolutely, I will check out the Catriel song, thank you. Because I don't know which one you mean off the top of my head. It's been years since I played it. It was full of all manner of turn-of-the-century electronic equipment.
何に使うかわかんない機械ばっかりだな。
To be fair, Junpei, when
Huh?
were you ever on a ship before? And even if you were on a ship, you're probably a passenger, not someone who has to use all of this equipment. Deal meal music. Oh, her outfits were very good. One more positive thing about Catriel, the outfits she had were very cute. She's very fashionable. Absolutely. One negative thing about the Catriel game, though, which specifically is just about the German localization, I had to stop playing the game in German because they wrote "gucken" with a K in the beginning. And I refuse to acknowledge that. It's when I switched the game to English. I was like, no, no.
これは
Gucken, which is the German word for look. No, I'm sorry. I'm talking about this word, but they wrote it this way, which is correct technically, but it still looks wrong, and I refuse to accept that way of writing it. It's no, I hate that. One smaller machine had a metal bar that ended in a circular handle. I seemed to recognize it.
電源だな。モールス信号を打つときに使うものだ。
A long time ago. Oh. The more time passes since this game came out and me actually playing it, the worse it's going to be. He's a fan charming. Oh no, it's not even a typo. It is just a way of writing it that is not as common. He turned and slowly took in the
どう
room.
やらここは通信室のようだ。
Communication office. Across the room from the door they'd entered through was
あっ
another
ちの
door.
扉は
A metal plate was nailed to it. It read
Captain's
Captain's Quarter.
cabin.
Captain's cabin. No, it doesn't say cabin on there. Junpei! Junpei!
みたいだね。
Tracy, do you have any passing interest in learning German? Because if you do not write it ever with a K. Please do me the favor of not ever doing that. This goes for everyone else as well. Please don't write cooking with a K. It's so stupid.
ということは、もしかするとこの先に。
Nah. I swallowed. Junpei could feel his hands begin to sweat. Only Clover seemed
とに
unaffected.
かく開けてみよう。
Okay. She walked up to the door and put her hand on a knob. It opened easily, and without so much as a pause, she walked in. Junpei and Ice followed. The first thing they saw was a man on the floor covered in blood. Junpei felt his body seize up. His mouth went dry and he felt very, very cold. The blood in his veins slowed to a crawl and his heart tightened like a fist. This was the third time he'd seen the horror of death laid out before him. He didn't think it was something he could stand to see much more of. Still, he had begun to accept that whatever it was that he saw, whatever happened to him, was beyond his control. And whatever force controlled him was driven by a determination that he could not hope to match. Welcome in, Raiders! Hi, welcome to Dead Man on the Ground. I'm Nua, I like to color pink, visual novels and JRPGs, and we're currently playing Zero Escape 999, specifically the first of the games. Hi, welcome in! I hope you had fun with Hamtaro. Welcome to Ham Dead People. It's not really named for Spanish dialects. Oh. Is it not? It's available in so many languages. Though granted, I don't really look for any other option aside from English for games anymore, I have to admit. Like, you can tell me, oh, I played this game and it has a fantastic German translation. I'm like, That's nice. I didn't even know about that. I haven't played a game in German in like forever. The only... Yeah, no. No. I can't think of any.
Dead man on the ground.
A sense of helplessness, of desperation washed over him. It left behind a feeling of utter emptiness that warmed its way through his body like acid. Maybe he's still alive, lying in this puddle of blood, maybe for hours. Fueled by that spark of hope, Junpei ran to the man's body, and his heart fell. When he touched his hand to his neck... Yeah, I mean, he doesn't look very alive. Just saying. Japanese, Korean. Oh yeah, French, true. His pupils had dilated and he wasn't breathing. Junpei lifted the man's already stiff body. There was a deep red wound on his chest. Junpei did not have to wonder long. Dun, dun. For lying next to the corpse was an axe. An axe without an E. The entire blade of it was drenched in bright red blood. From the shape of the man's wound, there could be no doubt that it had been made by the axe. Junpei looked at the body again. A lake of blood stretched out around it. It was wearing the clothes of a ship's captain, although they were stained with blood. I highly doubt that. Choosing French over Spanish is a try. Well, sometimes the French deserve to get hurt as well. On his left hand was a bracelet. The number on the bracelet was 0. It was only then that Junpei noticed the stench of blood that filled the room. He couldn't help but laugh. There was nothing else for him to say. It was too simple, too obvious, too straightforward. If there hadn't been a dead man on the floor, Junpei might have thought it a joke. But I don't know English. Which is very, very fair. To be fair, I've wanted to play the Ace Attorney games with the German translation for the longest time, just to see what it feels like. But then again, it's such a big time commitment to actually go through the games again. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, there's blood on that chair. Shake away out.
Okay, Captain's quarters. Oh, camera. Why is there a camera here? Camcorder. Looks like it's pointed at the door. Oh, the power's on. Why would someone want to videotape a door? Why not? What's this thing? Aha. I don't have numbers I can put it. There's blood on the chair. Do you think this was that guy's... Yeah, probably. Unfortunate. Good thing that's not us. What's this? Not any of the puzzles. To be fair, since my very first time playing this game was specifically the novel version on my phone, which didn't have any of the puzzles and literally only the story, but a flowchart that the original game didn't have. I also don't remember many of the puzzles. Music box! Okay, what else? Oh! Many rooms. This screen shows the big hospital room. It's just a random hallway on this one. This one shows a central staircase. I don't recognize the room on this one. The room on this screen looks really fancy. The screen shows what's going on in a small room somewhere that I don't recognize. And the screen showing what's happening at the central staircase on B deck. Okay, anything in here? Aha! What's the deal with this? Is it some kind of code? There are 4 rows of numbers and letters. They all start with a 0 and end with 8, F, N, or V, respectively. Maybe this has something to do with number bases. Material has been added. Oh no. The Silent Hill novel? For the G... What? I have never played any Silent Hill. But reading I can do. Numeral system chart found in the captain's quarters. 10 in base 10 is written as A in hexadecimal. Therefore, 11 is B, 12 is C, 13. Show the rules for each numeral system. Nope. 9, 10. Ah! Oh god, no, don't make me think about that. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to get back to that. At some point. Hopefully not right now. Anything else? No. Silent Hill Play Novel came out in 2001. Aww. It's a little younger than me then. Isn't that nice? There's a bunch of weird buttons on here. They probably switch what you see on the screens. You know how to work this thing? Why don't we just press one of these? Like this one. Aha! I guess it does change the... What the hell is this? It's a little older than you. It came... Ooh! Ah! There's nothing on the monitor, just static. Oh, this is supposed to be static because it looks like it could have something written on it, but okay. Ah, this is the door. Okay. Junpei snorted with grim humor for the second time since he came into the room. The 4 screens along the bottom had a single letter each, spelling out Zeno. Well, I need to figure out what the hell a Z is in that stupid code. I'm assuming. He turned to Clover, who was standing next to him. Clover nodded. It seemed that she cared about little. Of course, Junpei could hardly blame her. Given the strain she was surely under, Junpei was somewhat surprised she had responded at all. Still, he had to ask. He gestured toward the corpse. Absolutely not. Clover shook her head weakly. He won't face you. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I don't actually know if I've played any game that came out in the same year that I was born in. I'd have to, like, look up what games released in that year. I am the first gamer in my family, basically, so it's not like I was around many video games when I was really small. Hmm? Yes. Clover looked miserable, as if she could start crying at any moment. Junpei just didn't have the heart to tell her no. 98. I was born in 98. I am still a 90s child. Barely, but I'm still in it. Was his mind playing tricks on him, Junpei wondered. For a moment he could have sworn he'd seen Clover smile. Okay. Ah, wait. Where is it? Okay, wait. The E-R-O. E is 14. That makes sense. Yes. Okay. Okay, what else do we have in here? A piece of paper. I love paper so much. Piece of paper, yes. What is this? It's blank. There's nothing written on it. Wow, a blank piece of paper even. Woo! Okay, anything. Nothing in a drawer anymore. Okay, what about the other drawers? The soda drawer is the only thing that's locked. See a key holder. An electric lock, perhaps. Take a look at the left side of the drawer. Yeah, there's some cables over there. That must mean it's connected to this, yeah. Can I close this again? No? Oh, yes, I can. Thank you. I've literally played none of those games. None of those. No. Oh, no, I can only open that one. Okay. Clock mounted on the wall, the hands aren't moving. A little surprised that the time is wrong then, I suppose. And there's nothing on the back. Okay, fair. A hook? It wasn't a joke. I know, man. Okay. Honestly, when it comes to well-known or the big games that everyone's played, I'm kind of definitely on the lower end. Just look, it's a model of a steam train. How on earth did you arrive at that conclusion? What the fuck? It's a monkey with glasses. What? Huh? Okay. It's a telegraph key machine for transmitting Morse code. I tried setting an SOS earlier, but I doubt that did anything. Zero would never make it that easy. Do you think it's broken? No, it works. I'm just not sure if it actually transmits anything outside of the ship. Isn't there anything else I can check out here? Anything in these drawers, maybe? Ah! Small screwdriver. What else? Ink! Maybe. What is this? Yes, ink! Nothing in a drawer anymore. You'd only check the one drawer. Set of small screwdrivers. Yeah. Screwdriver ought to make short work of this music box. There we go. Now we have a cylinder. And we can put some ink on this cylinder. I'll put ink on this. Yes! And then we're going to combine the cylinder. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. On the paper. Just gotta roll the cylinder across a piece of paper, and if I'm right, the ink should give us a Morse code. Just as you suspected, right? Now you have a pattern of dots and lines on a paper. Imagine it's Morse code. There's dots and lines are the dots and dashes of Morse code. Yes! Oh, come on, Crystal. Pikmin! I've never played a Pikmin game. Short, long, long. Short. Long, short, long, short. Okay, let's see if that works. Am I allowed to use it on the No. This thing. Please! Game! You only play thing. Can I use it? This big ass rat trap over there. Told you that's a telegraph key. It's a device that transmits messages through Morse code. Can I use it? But the Morse code I'm supposed to enter. If I do this right, something will happen. I hope. Let's give this a shot. Ah, okay. And how do I use it? Short. Long. Short. Long. Short. Long. Short. Aha! That's the last one, and yes! Excellent work, Junpei, good job! You seem to have figured it out. You've unlocked the drawer. Thank you. Aha! A red file lay in the drawer. Junpei reached down and picked it up.
表紙に何か書いてあるな。ALLICE。オールアイスって読むのか。でも、L と I の間にスペースは見当たらないな。ってことは、 ALLICE で一つの単語を示しているのか?
It was an interesting thought, but it left Junpei's mind quickly as he opened the file. What lay inside was far more interesting and far more confusing. What the fuck? Each page was covered with strange characters. They looked like tiny drawings of birds, snakes, insects, horned animals, wings, and even kneeling humans. There were many pages in the file, and each was full of these strange symbols. He didn't realize he'd spoken out loud until Ace looked over at him.
ヒエログリフだな。古代エジプトの文字だよ。
Yeah.
古代エジプトの文字？
そうだ。
読めるのか？
ああ、もちろん。
Not.
読めるわけないだろ、そんなもの。
Do we even have hieroglyphs fully figured out to this day? Like that we can actually tell what they all mean?
なんだよ。
In their specific combinations, I mean. I can't say I've ever tried to get into them that much that I would know. Junpei flipped through a few more pages. It wasn't just 1 or 2 pages that were covered in the strange symbols. Every single page was covered in them.
これ全部がそうなのかよ。
Sure is. Trying to read them was pointless. Junpei wasn't going to waste any more time with them. He made to close the file, and something fell out.
何か落ちたな。
He bent down and picked it up.
カードキー？
A keycard! Yes, I'm back! Welcome back! The only real... What is an RTA game? A real-time adventure? There was a symbol on it that reminded Junpei of the symbols for the Saturn and Mercury keycards. This one, however, had a dot in the center of the mail symbol. RTS. I don't know what RTS means either. Real-time system?
ウラヌス。天皇制のマークだな。
Real-time strategy. Okay, I was close. Junpei looked over to see Ace examining the card. In addition to the Uranus symbol, there were 3 words engraved on the card as well.
右下のところに何か書いてあるな。
Bottom Deck Library.
ボトムデッキライブラリー。
Library.
ボトムデッキの図書室の鍵ってことか。ボトムデッキには図書室みたいなものでもあるんだろうか。
There's speedrunning contest means a non-spliced run. Oh, okay. I do enjoy the occasional speedrun. I fell asleep to a Tears of the Kingdom speedrun. I was like, wow. I don't even know how to really get anywhere in that game, and people speedrun it in less than an hour. Okay. Okay.
いずれにせよ。この場でどうにかなるような問題。
We need to get out of this room first. He gripped the keycard tighter and shoved it deep into his pocket. New material has been added to the file screen. Thank you. Wait. Give me this. Whatever that was. A unique key. I played Breath of the Wild for a while as well. And I couldn't get out of the tutorial area because of the ice and stuff, and I couldn't make anything that would help me, you know, not die because of the cold. And in the end, I ended up giving it to a friend. Breath of the Wild. But I do enjoy watching other people play it, and I would like to see if the Zelda games are for me, but so far, I don't think they are. I try time and time again anyway. What am I doing? Research the wheelhouse from top to bottom. There's no reason to go back. In fact, okay, sorry! Jesus Christ, sorry, I went to the wrong room. You fell down a cliff down looks like a— No! I'm sorry to hear that. Control panel for the electronic lock. Looks like it's got a keyhole in the bottom right. Maybe the key we got earlier. Just had to put the key in, now it's on. Okay, look, there's a minus sign on the screen. There are 8 of them. Probably means you've got to put in 8 digits. Do you think you can figure it out? Absolutely. I already do have it figured out, actually. Let's see. 8 digits. Once I put in the 8-digit number, I just press E to enter it. If I mess up, I guess I just press C. Let's give it a shot. Fortunately, didn't get stuck and there's no ice to get stuck on, at least not so far. To be fair. I mean, Atiye Yumiya doesn't have a system where the things you make can break. Which is one of my biggest gripes. In games in general. It's like, oh my god, my stuff can get broken after a while if I use it. I hate that. And Atiye Yumiya being an Atiye game, if you manage to make really good equipment, it doesn't even matter how low level you are. As usual. There we go. Yes! It worked! Good job, Junpei. Thank you. Excellent, you seem to have unlocked it. You just stopped playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. Big mood. I think the biggest scam they gave us with Animal Crossing New Horizons is, hey, you remember gold tools? Yeah, you can still make them. You can just straight up make them, but they can still break. Gold is not something you can get just that easily. Fuck you. What? Okay. Thanks. I love trying to go fishing and I get like 3 fish and then I have to get a new... I forgot the word. Fishing pole. Because mine just broke. I specifically play Animal Crossing to relax, you know? To just kind of do the same thing over and over for hours. It is not worth it. You can make them once just to have made them, but don't use them. Like, I'm the same. Good work, Junpei. Alright, let's go. Let's get out of here. Dun dun dun! You found it! You found yet another way to absolutely derail the conversation. Let me check something real quick. We went... Wait. We went 5... Okay, wait, and our next goal is... Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Sure. To go on to get the ultimate objective. Took me a while to actually get used to the ultimate thingy because I was into Danganronpa before the official localization came out. This is also why I still have trouble when people call them by their first names. I'm like, wait, let me think. Ah. Yeah. We stepped out of the captain's quarters and into another hallway. This time it's really a hallway. The hallway stretched out in front of Junpei for a bit before turning left like a great backward owl. Junpei rounded the corner and took off down the straight away. He ran, and ran, and ran. At the end of the hallway was a door. He made straight for it. He was nearly halfway to it when he noticed a piece of paper in the middle of the floor. Junpei skidded to a halt. He dropped down to his hands and knees and quickly tore the paper off of the floor. Oh. Ace, slightly slower by virtue of his advanced age, had finally caught up to Junpei. He showed Ace what he had snatched from the wall. He looked at it long enough to determine what it was and nodded. With that, he began running again past Junpei. Super interesting knowing living it are not the same. Yeah. Junpei shoved the map into his pocket and got up to follow Ace. Something stopped him. He turned around. Clover was nowhere to be seen. Junpei muttered angrily under his breath and took off back the way he'd come. As he stomped around the corner, he saw her. The remaining games but first last night, the order use becomes obvious to anyone else. Yeah. No, I think The truth is Togami, yeah, no. I get it. I think for the first game, I'm used to it, but for the second game, I'm kind of and for the third game, I definitely would have trouble if you only gave me one name. If you give me the full name, it's fine, but if you... I'm just not that connected to the third game anymore. She was standing in front of the door to the captain's quarters, her hand on the doorknob. As Junpei watched, she closed it gently and quietly.
何やってたんだよ。
別に。
Nothing.
別にって。
Clover had unconsciously put her hands over the pockets of her jacket as if trying to hide
なんだ
something.
よそれ。
何が？
ポケットの中。何か入ってるだろ
ああ、これは、なんだろう。よくわからないや。
You wonder what is in your own pocket? I call him Akechi. I call him Akechi too. I call everyone else by the first name. I call him Akechi as well, though.
いいから、早く行こう。
With that, Clover ran straight past a somewhat confused Junpei. As she did, he caught a glimpse of her bag.
あれ四つ葉、お前その背中の。
Sticking up from her collar was something that looked like a big wooden stick.
おいお前服の中に何突っ込んでんだよ
She didn't respond. Instead, she quickly turned the corner and disappeared.
虫かよもう
Junpei did his best to convince himself that it would make sense later and ran off after Clover. You like understanding what you hear. I tend to play with Japanese voices. One, because a lot of games I play don't actually have an English dub, and two, because I'm simply so used to just having the Japanese voices play. Junpei pushed through the door and found himself in a large room with a large set of stairs. Everything in this ship is large.
地図にあった通りだな
It's not deep breaker. Yeah, they haven't given us English dub for the Atelier games in quite a while. Has never mattered to me, but I know there's a lot of people that do prefer their games dubbed. It was just what he'd expected to see after reading the map. His I see after reading the map himself meant that Ace had probably realized the same thing.
一宮はこの下か
Oh, Titan Blood when it drops on June 16th. So true! Actually, everyone who hasn't heard yet, the next Studio Elan game that we have a confirmed release date for is a Titan Blood, which is coming out on June 16th. Oopsie. And it's going to feature a Japanese dub and Japanese localization. Which is nice. Not that I understand Japanese, but it's very nice. Also, I'm very much looking forward to that game. Hell yeah! We are getting fat so well. He put his hand on the handrail and leaned over to look down.
いたな
There he is. Not that we can see him, but there he is.
見て、他の4人もいるよ。
And not just Ace, Santa, June, Seven, and Lotus as well.
行こ
Junpei and Clover glanced at each other and hurried down the stairs. They reached B deck at the same time. Everything's happening so much. June's face was excited. Something had happened, that much Junpei could tell by simply looking at
どうしたん
her.
だ
Given the situation, he was not inclined to be excited about sudden developments. June, however, couldn't contain herself.
何が
見つかったんですよ。
What?
だから何が
最後の扉が、9の扉が見つかったんです。
なんだって
とにかく行こうついてきてくれ
ああ
Seven turned and jogged off down the stairs.
まそういうこった
お先。
では私たちも行こうか。
The rest followed.
淳平くん、いよいよですね。
The relief and excitement in her voice echoed what each one of them
Ah.
felt.
そうだな。
It's so funny because it's like, okay, just because he told you that the goal was going to be to get to door 9 doesn't mean that you'll simply have won, no? I would be a little skeptical. Junpei wasn't quite ready to believe they'd really done it, at least not just yet. Still, if everyone said that it was door 9, then it probably
つい
was.
に来たか。
He could feel his heart racing. A mixture of anticipation and fear ran through his veins, and he could feel his legs shaking. He was doing his best to maintain a sense of healthy skepticism, but he couldn't deny that the prospect of escape was an exciting one.
ナンバリングドアの先へ進めるのは3人から5人まで。今行動を共にしているのは7人だから、少なくとも2人はあぶれることになる。2人、何かいい方法があればいいんだが。
Junpei looked over at the clock.
4時30分、タイムリミットまで。あと90分か。
90 minutes.
ゆっくり考えている暇はないな。
おい、順平、紫、何やってんだ、早く来い。
Santa's voice jolted Junpei out of his reverie.
行きましょう、淳平くん。
June took off down the stairs, jogging as quickly as she could.
ああ、
Junpei followed. They were quiet for a while until... They had just reached C deck when Clover spoke.
ねえ、2の扉は？
Junpei-kun! Wrong Junpei-kun. Everyone else stopped. They all turned to look at Clover. Seven spoke.
2の扉がどうしたって？
まだ調べてないでしょ。2の扉だけ。
ああ、そうだな。
いいの？このまま2の扉調べなくても。
それよりも今は9の扉の方に。
行ってどうするの？9の扉があるところに行って。7人全員じゃでしょ？だったらそこに行く前にやれることは全部やっておこうよ。例えばジグソーパズル。
She's a complete...
隅を埋めてないのに真ん中にピースを置こうとするなんて変だよ。
Very true, though. Border pieces are always good.
そうじゃない？それとも何？このまま7人で9の扉があるところに行って、またいつものように誰が残るだの残らないだのって不バカの一つ覚えみたいにさ。2の扉の先を調べれば何か方法が見つかるかもしれないじゃん。全員で脱出するための方法が。
I like that they specifically give each and every person who's listening to her right now their own little ... because she's the only one actually talking.
そこに何があるのかはわからない。もしかしたら何もないかもしれない。でも調べないよりは調べた方がマシでしょ。違う？私なんか変なこと言ってるかな。
You know, after all those years, I'm still upset about one thing with Clover's design, and it's that the pink of her jacket and the pink of her hair just clash. Like, if I had naturally pink reddish hair like hers, I would at least try to wear clothes that kind of complement it. No. She can do whatever she likes, I guess. But it's very, very hard on the eyes. The dark red bow skirt. Yeah, right? I feel like it might not even be a school uniform issue kind of thing. Because it's a little out there for a school uniform. But even if the bow, the colors were like school issued, at least get a jacket that kind of fits the theme more, no? Please. Please, Clover, we're both pink-haired, green-eyed bitches. We need to stick to our color schemes. Also, hi, Sal. Good evening. Oh yes, everyone's saying nothing.
確かにその通りかもしれない。
The others nodded in
さっき
agreement.
時計を見たとき4時半だった。たっぷりと時間があるってわけじゃないが、急げば一部屋ぐらいは調べられるだろう。
そうですね。
Who would we need to go to door 2?
とりあえず行ってみましょう。2の扉の方に。
I don't remember where that one is actually. They were back in front of the elevator. Nearby was a large
こ
hospital
のエレ
room.
ベーターを降りれば2の扉か。
Also, Junpei, you found a key card.
メンバーはどうする？
そうだな。
私が行くよ。
Okay, 4.
じゃああとは俺と紫とセブンだな。
Thank you, game, for doing the math for
おい
me.
何勝手に。
俺は構わんぞ。決め直す時間がもったいないしな。
純平くん、私は大丈夫ですから。
だとよ。
ねえ、もういいでしょ。
分かったよ。
じゃ、行ってくるね。行ってきます。
ああ、気をつけてな。
Oh no. You know who that means we're stuck with? Ace and Lotus. They climbed into the elevator and Junpei listened to it creak and rattle its way to the bottom deck. Only Junpei, Ace, and Lotus were left. A top 10 people I do not want to be stuck in a room with. Or a giant ship. As the elevator rumbled out of sight, Ace spoke.
むしろちょっと付き合ってもらえないかな。
Stuck with old. To be fair, I don't think Lotus is actually that old. They just didn't know what else to say to be mean to her, I feel like.
付き合う？交際したいってこと？
Why are you like this, woman? Why are you like this?
残念だけど、私子持ちなのよね。それでもいい？
You are?
いや、そういう意味ではなく、一緒に来てもらいたいんだ。
いやーね、真に受けないでよ。
What? Huh?
で、どこに行くの？
I feel like whatever joke there was in there got lost. Because I am lost.
ちょっとな、見せたいものがあって。
おいおい待てよ。俺はのけ者か？
Nope.
いや、そういうわけじゃないさ。ヤシロに見せたら君にも拝ませてやる。
Huh?
本当か？
ああ、本当だと思う。
Ace's smile was friendly.
それじゃあ好きにしてくれ。
Uh-huh.
ありがとう。で、ヤシロは？
いいわ、付き合ってあげる。4人が戻ってくるまでしばらくかかりそうだしね。こんなところで待ってても手持ち無沙汰なだけだから。
We could use the key card we found in the library thingy for the library
助かる
thingy.
よ。それじゃあ、行こう。
Bottom deck library. Ace turned and began to walk. Lotus followed. They disappeared into the hallway on the left. Time seemed to drag as Junpei waited for the others to return. Why are you not checking out something else? Please!
みんな遅いな。一宮たちも一体どこまで行ったんだ？
Suddenly the elevator opened. A single person stood there.
四つはお前が一番乗りか？
There was only Clover inside. He didn't see the rest. She looked at Junpei and slowly, purposefully stepped out of the elevator. The door closed behind her.
他の三人はどうしたんだ？
She didn't answer. Instead, her eyes swept the room and then settled on Junpei.
一宮とヤシロは？
ああ、あの二人なら何かを見に行くってあっちの通路に行ったよ。
Junpei explained what had happened.
そう。じゃあ二人は？
Her voice was small and timid. Hi, Raiders! Good evening! I know I like the color pink version of his JRPGs. We're currently playing Zero Escape 999. We are on our way to our first very good ending. Hi! How was stream? You bring friends. Welcome, welcome.
うん。だと思
He repeated his earlier
う。
question.
それよりも、紫とサンタとセブンはどうしたんだよ。
Very hectic.
なんで一緒じゃないんだ。
教えてほしい。
You think you know what ending is? Yeah, you will see in in a little bit. Why didn't the pigtails work? Hold on. Let me fix that. Thank you. You killed heretics in the name of the Emperor guy. Nice. I know very little about Warhammer, but it sounds like you did a good job. Look at that. Clover and I are matching now. Also, thank you for the pet and the high return. I know for sure which ending is coming as well, but you know. The silly soldier. Nice. There was something wrong with her smile.
おう。
そう。それじゃあ、これ。
Clover pulled something out of her pocket and tossed it onto the floor at Junpei's feet.
Huh?
He looked down. On the floor in front of him were 3 metal rings.
バクル
Junpei collapsed.
嘘だろ。嘘だ。
Junpei's body felt like rubber. His heart felt like a cold lump in his chest and his hands shook uncontrollably. Sweat poured down his face. The three bracelets sat down on the floor before him. He could see the numbers on their faces.
7番。
And
6番。
最後に番号を外す方法についてほしい。それは2つしかない。1つはこの船から脱出する。もう1つは心拍数がゼロになる。外に出るか、はめている人間の心臓が停止すれば、番号は自動的に外れるようになっている。
どうして。嘘。
Junpei's voice was flat and broken. Clover's response was cold.
私はただ、お兄ちゃんの仇を取っただけ。お兄ちゃんは3の扉の奥に放り込まれて殺された。その扉を開くには、お兄ちゃん以外に、少なくともあと2人は必要。じゃあ、その2人って誰？組み合わせ的に考えたら、サンタとセブンしかいないんだよ。だから、2人を殺したの。
なんでだよ。なんでだよ。だったらどうして。紫まで。
2人をかばおうとしたから邪魔だったの。だから一緒に。
そんな。
Junpei shook his head, trying desperately to wake himself from what had to be a dream.
嘘だ。
It couldn't be real. It just couldn't.
ねえ、順平。
He felt Clover's hand on his shoulder. You gotta say one thing though. I love the perspective they have in some of these CGs because that goes crazy hard. The only thing you remember. Her smile was wrong, horribly wrong. Her face looked like a mask made from stretched human skin. The smile that parted her lips did not extend to her eyes. Let's take ibuprofen. No! They were dead and empty. The girl in front of him was no longer the Clover he had known. Perhaps she was not even human. A hand reached out toward him.
2人で脱出しようよ。 この船を出るの。
何をナンバリングドアを開くには。
You need the bracelet.
うん、そうだね。さても、これさえあれば。
You gotta cue your clicky. Once again, Clover reached into her pocket and pulled something out.
それ
It was another bracelet. Junpei could see the number on the face. 0. 0.
ゼロの番号。なんだよそれ。ポケットの中何か入ってるだろう。
ああ、これはね、わかったでしょ。ゼロのバングルがあるから大丈夫なんだよ。
It's so funny to me, though. The only reason she's cozying up to Junpei is because he has the number 5. If he were the one who had a different number, she would have done this to whoever else had number 5.
私と順平の2人だけで9の扉を開けるの。だから、
Yes.
ね、行こう。ほら、早く。
She shoved out her hand again. Junpei looked up at Clover. She had the face of a demon. But there was something else. There was a holy light that surrounded her. She's both a fierce god and a benevolent goddess filled with love. No, I think that's just the lights behind her.
順平、
Her voice was soft. Her eyes weren't empty anymore. They were deep, so deep Junpei could feel himself falling into them. He felt dizzy. There was something oddly bewitching about her. His mind was beginning to crack and his heart began to
順
melt.
平、
The hand she was offering him, it looked so soft, so inviting.
It's
Junpei reached out with his own trembling hand and closed it over hers. Volume warning. Junpei with, how do you say this? Right in agony. I can never remember. I'm sorry. He shuddered and twitched, his body spasming as he went into shock. Okay, damn. He screamed until his throat was torn and bloody, and then screamed more. His cries echoed across the room. Eventually, his movement slowed and faded. Faded? Oh, thank you. It's one of those words where I'm always like... Eventually, his movement slowed and faded. There was no more strength left in Junpei. It's so funny. She already killed 3 other people for the bracelets. What makes you think that she would specifically take you along? He could feel his body begin to go numb. He no longer felt pain. He no longer felt anything. Whatever Junpei had been was gone. The last remnants of his mind began to fade. Delusion, because he's... Okay! Poor guy. Even as his vision faded to nothingness, he saw Clover.
ありがとう。
Is that a train horn? Yeah. Let's put a train horn in that. This is a... Honestly, her shoes are banger. How she's walking and running in those, I have no idea, but this is a great CG.
それじゃあこれ借りてくね。
The smile was cold. What was left of Junpei's conscious mind drifted away. All that was left was a twisted, broken corpse. That end! You've reached one ending. This game has multiple endings. In order to experience all the endings, you need to play through the game multiple times. Make sure to save your progress now to retain all information you've acquired. Memory of Escape has been added to the title screen. Memory of Escape enables you to replay the escape rooms you have completed. Would you like the safety info you obtained during this playthrough after saving? Yes, I would like to do that. Thank you. Would you look at that? We've got our first ending. The funny implication? What is the funny implication? Yippee! Ah, yes. Would you look at that flowchart? Right then, what we are going to do, we're not going to go back all the way to the beginning because we simply don't have to. What we are going to do though is go back to this section here so we can choose different doors. Because to get to our next ending, we are going to go through door 4, meaning we're going to see a completely different set of happenings until we reach back here. Jumper's heart presumably didn't stop immediately after being attacked, so yeah, true that. If he's still in his conscious mind, but she already has his bracelet, she's like, oh, I'm going to borrow this. She just... Yeah. Can I go here? Yes, I can. Girl boss! I would like to know... Nope, not the button I need. Not the button I need either. That's auto mode. That's all skip. I don't want all skip. Oh, Jesus Christ. I definitely don't want all skip. Oh my god. It's a safe slot. No. No! Game, please. I have. No, I don't want to go all the way back to the prologue. Help me. Why? Leave me. No. Get me out of here. This one. Flowchart. Let's try this again. Okay. Okay. Is there really only a auto mode and all skip? I don't want to skip text we haven't seen yet, though. You know? That makes sense, right? Granted, we have seen everything up to the point of where we actually choose where to go, so that's not a problem. It's stop when a choice pops up. Really? But all skip. Is it going to stop? Is it going to skip unread text as well? No, right? If you don't want to skip when you read, that's good. Ah! Help! Help! Choices! Help me! Okay, this time around... Okay, let me... Stop! No, all skip definitely does skip everything. I don't like that. And I don't have an option to... Okay, hold up. Yes. Thank you. I do actually want to return to the start screen. I want to check something real quick. Options. You mean skip text on, off? So if I turn... I am confusion. Yes. Does this mean I can't change it to... Now I can't change it at all anymore. Is that what it says? Auto skip. Ah, maybe this way. Stop! No, no, it's still skipping. Stop! I love this game, but I also... What the fuck are these settings about? Because you do have to replay stuff. What do you mean? What is the skipping option? What the hell? Anyway, let me go back up. I'll go through door 4 with Lotus Santa in June. There's nothing to worry about. I just need to stay by his side. June. Akane Kureshiki. Should be fine, it's no problem. This way I should see the other 4. He made no show of affection, but Junpei saw as something more than just a friend from his childhood. Looks like Ace and the others are going. He watched the other 4 walk toward the door. Ace, Snake, Clover, and 7. Junpei said nothing as they left. Before long, they had reached door 5. Okay, there we go. Okay, we just need to be careful with skipping then, I guess. That's unfortunate. They talked to one another for a few seconds, saying things Junpei couldn't hear, and then laid their hands one by one on the scanner panel of the red. Ace grabbed the lever. His face tight with determination, he turned over his shoulder to look at Junpei and his companions. Since this is going to be a completely different path now, going through this door than the others, let's see. As Ace pulled the lever, the door swung open, the mouth of a great hungry beast. Beyond the door, Junpei knew lay the sad remains of the 9th man. It did not surprise him that Ace, Clover, and 7 hesitated. The body was not a pleasant thing. Snake had no such problems, as his blindness made him immune to the horror. He stepped through the door, his feet making a wet splack in the pool of blood. The 3 remaining steeled themselves and stepped through the door. Definitely didn't feel like good. Akane is an interesting character. I like her, but yeah, after someone saying that they don't like a character, then them telling you that you remind I'm not sure what to think about that either. Door 5 swung shut, closing with a heavy finality of metal upon metal. Junpei and his companions scrambled to the door. June's face showed her concern more plainly than her words ever could. Almost as though in response to a question, a voice rang out from the other side of the door. It was 7. Beep beep beep. The sighs of relief were audible even through the heavy door. Junpei and his companions leaned away from the door and breathed with a collective sigh of relief of their own. It heard 7's voice, but it wouldn't hurt to be sure. Despite the recent danger, Clover's voice was as bubbly as ever. Which is a very interesting change from how we've seen her act these past few hours. Easy enough, at least. Junpei and the others left door 5 and headed toward door 4.
今度はこっちの番だな。
Akanes?
それじゃあ、まず俺から。
They stood in front of the red and placed each of their hands upon it. Clovers! No, I think her character is actually quite easily understood if you've seen the entire story. 4 asterisks appeared on the screen. Junpei grabbed the lever and turned around.
それじゃあ。ああ。
行きましょう。
None of them looked particularly optimistic, but their faces were set. Junpei nodded to them and turned back toward the red.
よし。それじゃあ行こう。
With strength and determination, he pulled the lever. Let's do it! The 4 of them leapt through the door together. The moment they passed through it, each heard a cold electronic sound coming from their left wrist. Damn, it does the exact thing that we all knew would happen. In the center of each bracelet, a red skull appeared and began to flash. The detonator's countdown had begun. In a long moment that each of them spent staring at their wrists. The number door behind them closed, the sound of metal on metal reverberating down the hallway.
タイロも立たれたぞ。
早く例の装置を見つけないと。
おい、デッドはどこだ。
知らないわよ。
知らないじゃねえだろうが探せ。
言われなくても探してるわ。
They began to run, eyes looking frantically for the device that was the key to their salvation. The hallway they found themselves running down was a long one, easily 300 feet in length, however much that is. On the right side of it stood a series of wooden doors, all nearly identical. If they had taken time to think, they would likely have discerned that the doors led to cabins.
デッドはこの部屋のどこかにあるんじゃ。
そんなない部屋あると思ってるんですか。
Oh, okay. Junpei was too frightened to count properly, but at his best guess, there were 7 or 8 of them.
くそ、いちいち数えてる余裕なんてねえぞ。
Junpei went to the nearest
とにか
door.
く開けていくしかねえ。
He grabbed the knob and shook it hard.
ない。
It didn't feel locked, more like someone had hammered an iron plate over the other side of the door. Junpei turned around to find another door and saw that his companions had already run 2 doors of their own. They did not seem to be having any more success than he had. Their own words confirmed his fears.
こっちはダメ。びくともしません。
Jun was the last to speak up. As Junpei looked in her direction, his eye caught something he hadn't noticed before. A small red blinking light.
通路の突き当たりだ。走れ。
Even as he yelled, he ran. He grabbed Santa, Lotus, and June and pulled them toward the light. Santa called out to them as he
おい
ran.
あと何秒だ。
知らないわよ。
You've already gone home, oh no!
タイムリミットは81秒です。
Hi Zen! Good evening! How are you? How are you? We're running for our life.
ダコタ知ってる。残り何秒かって聞いてんだ。
In all likelihood, Junpei figured nearly a minute had already passed since the door had closed behind them. If that was true, urgency foremost in all of their minds, they arrived at the end of the hallway. The dead sat on the left wall, blinking almost tauntingly at them. You want to work to hands? Big mood. Big mood. I'm tired. Work ending beam! Junpei grabbed hold of the machine, his hands slick with sweat and shaking. He slammed his hand against the scanner panel. The others three quickly followed suit. With a grunt, Santa yanked the lever downward. There we go. Imagine how short of a game this would be if everyone just died and failed in the very first room.
まったみたいだな。
But alas, we all make it. At least through this one. His hands beginning to steady, Junpei wiped away some of the sweat that had beaded on his forehead. As they caught their breath, the four companions began to look around. You've been done in 5
また
minutes.
扉か。
Oh, technically less than that. You only have 81 seconds after authenticating. No, I guess you have a full 90 seconds. The door is open for 9 seconds, and then you have 81 seconds until the bombs go off, so. You could see a heavy-looking set of double doors. Set into the walls of the hallway on either side of the larger door were two smaller
ま
ones.
ずはこっちだな。この両開きのドアは
Physical impairment disability. I mean, Snake is blind, and they don't really go into it further. He's just blind. We don't know what kind of blindness, except for, okay, he can't see. And he's also missing part of his left arm. He doesn't have his own left... What? No. He was in a car accident and lost both his vision and also part of his left arm. Okay. One second. The cat demands an audience. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They don't go into it further by going like, oh, I don't know, he has a specific kind. They just went, this character is blind and cannot see. End of discussion. Yes. To be fair, I feel like them actually at least telling us, hey, he lost his vision in a car accident is already more than you expect from most other series. Because blindness is a spectrum, but most series that tend to write a blind character don't really care. They're just like, oh, character's blind. Okay. But no, they don't have anyone else with a physical disability that would, for example, someone whose legs are impaired in any way, for example. So everyone's pretty lucky in that sense. How many times had he come across similar doors with similar results, he wondered. Or perhaps, he corrected himself, more lack of results. Whatever the reason, the door remained firm and unyielding, and refused to allow Junpei or anyone else passage. Above the keyhole was a small symbol engraved in the brass. He wasn't quite sure what to make of it, and stared at it for a moment in confusion. It was June that corrected him.
違いますよ。これは多分火星のマークだと思います。確かにオスの記号と同じですけどね。でも、ほら、大階段の近くにも同じようなマークがあったじゃないですか。太陽系の星を示すマークが。
ああ、そういえば、太陽。
I haven't. No, I'm sorry, I haven't. I keep meaning to, but real life has been taking its toll lately. I'm sorry. I will though. Also, hi, Raiders, welcome in. Seek a raid out. No, seek a raid in. Hi. I know I like the color pink. Vision of Zero Bitches. We're currently playing Zero Escape 999. We just got our first bad ending, so now we're trying a different track. By starting from the beginning and choosing the door we didn't choose last time. I will take my time, thank you.
土
How about
星
stream?
それに地球もあったな。
だからこれも多分。
オスじゃなくて太陽系の火星。
だと思います。
へえ。あ、
Maybe he found a door that opens. While Junpei and June talked, Santa had disappeared. They turned to find him some distance down the hallway. He had gone to check the other doors. Eventually, he reached the last of them and jogged back. It took him only a moment to catch his breath again.
あらかた調べてみたんだが。
Because of the Binding of Isaac? You know what? That's fair. Why not? I know only a few of them, simply because of, Sailor Moon? Kind of rack your brain around program a simple randomized Sokoba. Oh! I feel like with programming, lots of times it's like, technically this shouldn't be too hard, but you know exactly what you want, but how are you going to make it work? I say this as someone who knows nothing about programming. The most I knew was back then when I tried to do a little bit of coding on my Tumblr theme, and that's it. So.
ダメだ。他のドアは全部開かねえ。
Okay.
ってことは。
残るはこの2枚のドアだけってことね。
Sailor Moon made me gay. Valid and fair. I hope it's a good thesis. Software development sucks still. Really? I wouldn't know. Not really my kind of thing. I feel like it would be easier to get a job in that specific sector though, especially a remote job, but other than that, I know nothing about either programming or software development. Lotus examined the doors on either side of the larger double door. Each one had a metal plate attached to it.
ルームナンバーですかね。
Gotta justify the wild title.
左手のドアは B92。
Probably the show.
右手のドアは B93 か。開けてみよう。俺は92号室の方をやる。
ああ。なら俺は93号室だな。
Junpei put his hand on the doorknob, and Santa moved to the other door. They made it through the numbered door alive. There was nothing more to be afraid of. Junpei and Santa looked at each other and nodded.
せーの。
In unison, they pushed against their respective doors, and promptly found themselves in a new room. June followed Junpei as he threw open his door. Turned around and saw that the door on the other side was open as well. Through the door was another person, his mouth agape. It was Santa.
おい、開いたぞ。
It sure did.
ああ。開いたな。
Junpei and Santa looked at each
なん
other.
か拍子抜けだな。
こんなにもあっさり開くとはな。
Lotus's calm voice broke into their thoughts.
これもゼロの思惑通りってことなのかしら。なんだかいいように操られてるみたいで尺に触るわね。
As she headed for room 93, Lotus
とにか
continued.
くこの2つの部屋どちらかに先へ進むための手がかりがあるはずよ。探しましょう。私とサンタはこっちの部屋を調べてみるから順平くんと紫さんはそっちを頼むわ。
ああ、わかった。
了解です。
Alrighty. I think we should be able to make it through this room. Hopefully. Kind of feel like the very first time you're in one of these rooms, it's one of the longest ever. This is kind of a weird looking picture. Do you think it's an abstract painting or something? It looks kind of like a demon with an elephant-like nose, sucking on a human being's brain. Where the hell did that come from? What's her brain made of? I'd say I'd mind finding out a little more about what goes in there. No, clearly. Kind of weird looking picture. Some sort of weird black and white design. Looks like there's a room on the right side of this picture. To be fair, I think this is literally just a dog on sand. That's what this looks like to me. This looks like a dog. But okay. Let's see. Matches! Jupiter looked down blankly at what he was holding, then up at June.
そういえばお前、熱の方は大丈夫なのか?
I almost forgot about that.
はい、もう全然。
June certainly looked fine.
ちょっとおでこ、見せてみろ。
Junpei held his hand on her forehead for a few seconds.
確かに、熱は下がってるようだな。
心配してくれてるんですか?
Of course we are! Of course we are! Was of a master's degree? To be fair, I guess you can technically write about anything you'd like for a master's.
まあ、一応な。
She's so cute!
June blushed and giggled.
ところで、俊平くん。
ん？
俊平くんは、なんでこんなところにいるんですか?
なんでって。みんながいるときに話しただろ?
夜、家に帰るとガスマスクの男がいた。白い煙を吸い込んで意識を失った。気がつくと D デッキの性質に。
I like Sailor Moon, both the character and the show, and the original manga.
そうだ。
でも、それって本当なんですか?
Excuse me? Oh, I kinda. Oh, yes! Yeah, no, sorry. I mean, to be fair, I think in Zero Escape, many characters have both their lovers and their haters. Some even more so than some others. But I feel like you should know or you should get to experience the entire story to try and understand why someone might feel a certain way about a character. Because if you only have half truths and half knowledge of anything, it might be harder to understand. You don't wanna, you can watch me play it. We're going to do the game to 100%.
は?
俊平くん、私に何か隠し事してません?
してねえよ。なんでだよ。
だってどう考えてもおかしいじゃないですか。なんで小学校の同級生がこんなところに。
それはこっちのセリフだ。お前こそ何か隠してるんじゃないのか?
何かって何をですか?
何かをだ。
Anything. I mean, you're hiding it. How would I know?
今までに付き合ってきた。
Why is the Japanese text literally like one word and the English text is 2 lines long? Junpei's heart stumbled over itself.
知りたいですか?
He had to admit he was a little curious.
安心してください。
He smiled at him.
18にかける0
Generic looking guy from the third that's generic. If you ever manage to find a picture of the generic looking guy from specifically the third game, I need you to show it to me, just so I can laugh about it. I wonder which guy you think is generic looking from the third game. June looked a little embarrassed and scratched the back of her head in a desperate attempt to seem nonchalant. Right, I forget about all of the scenes where Junpei and June are stuck in a room and you're like, oh, here's this weird flirty thing we've got going on. You think Eric is a generic looking... Okay. Okay. I will keep that in mind for when we get around to the third game. Junpei coughed quietly in much the same way.
とにかく私は何も隠し事なんてしてませんよ。
Mhm.
純平君と同じです。目が覚めたらデッキの船室に。
じゃあこれは一体どういうことなんだよ。なんでゼロは同じ小学校の出身者である俺とお前を選んだんだ。
そうですね。
Chu nodded, and for a few moments she had the faraway look of someone in deep
被害
thought.
者の接点をたどれば容疑者につながる。確かセブンさんがそんなことを言ってましたよね。
ああ、言ってたな。それで？
だから要するにそういうことですよ。やっぱり同級生の誰かが関係してるんじゃないかと。
心当たりでもあるのか？
いいえ、さっぱり。
なんだよ。
他に学校の関係者って言ったら担任の先生とか校長。
用務員のおじさんとか給食のおばちゃんとか？
どれも。
To be fair, that wasn't grade school, so why would you remember?
だよな。
I don't think I would recognize any of my teachers from grade school if I would walk across them now, like somewhere out in the street. Or even know their names. That's fair. That's fair. He's not the first one I thought of when thinking about a generic looking guy, though. That's why it's funny to me. Junpei went back to searching, feeling unpleasant and confused. Elementary school. Elementary school. Was there anything strange that had happened in elementary school? As he searched the room, he continued to rack his brain. Sure. What's this one? This isn't a painting. Is it a map? Looks like a map of the ship's interior. Oh, this is a great find. I think it'll be really useful. Let's take it with us. It is now possible to use the map screen. Thank you. Junpei took one last look at the map, then folded it up and slid it back into his pocket. Jun looked up as he closed it.
思ってたよりも随分大きい船なんですね。
This was the first one. Oh, you went through door 4? It makes sense. I guess more people would go through door 4 on their first run for the simple reason of, you know, it's the one the game actually recommends. And you think, okay, let's just follow what everyone's saying and not make a big stink about wanting to go through a different door, thus forcing everyone else to resort where they want to go. But I don't care.
ああ、全長300メートル近くはありそうだな。
300 meters. 300 meters?
豪華客船ってやつでしょうか。
300? Yeah, something. Yeah, okay.
と言っても、ただの豪華客船じゃなさそうだけどな。内装がレトロすぎるし、解雇趣味にしてはやりすぎだろう。
I like Akane. She's cute.
そういえばゼロがこんなことを言ってましたよね。この船とタイタニックには何か関係があるってことでしょうか。
Maybe.
なるほど。確かに気になるな。何も関係がなければ、タイタニックを引き合いに出したりはしないだろうし。
Junpei took a moment to look around the room. He just let go. Never!
もしかしたらこの船、
A replica of the Titanic. I don't remember any of the choices, but I'm simply going to go with the choices that I apparently already made some other time.
タイタニックのレプリカなんじゃないか？
レプリカ？
ああ、実物大の模型みたいなもんだ。
誰がそんなものを？
マニアだよ。タイタニックの熱狂的なマニアだ。
そんな、ありえないですよ。一体いくらかかると思ってるんですか？
さあ、見当もつかないが、 だが、とにかく元が取れればいいわけだろ。
元？
そうだ。実際に客船として運用してみるとかな。現代に蘇った豪華客船。復刻版タイタニック号、世界一周の旅。
I'll tell you one thing. If they actually made a replica of the Titanic and let it sail again, I would not get on that. Like, that's just bad karma. Oh, hey, we rebuilt the thing, but we obviously made it better, so nothing like this could happen again. I don't want that. I do not want to be on a ship like that. I don't like being on ships in general, though. I do get seasick.
こんなキャッチフレーズだけでもかなり集客が見込めると思うが。
そんな縁起の悪い船、好き好んで乗る人がいるでしょうか。
Yeah, see?
史上最悪の海難事故を起こした船ですよ。犠牲者の数は1500名以上。なんだかたたられそうじゃないですか。
たたりね。
淳平くんは信じてないんですか？たたりとか呪いとか。
Apparently I do. We made it better, and now sinks faster.
うん、まあ、信じてるよ。それなりには。
Should we scratch his
そうい
temple?
うお前はどうなんだよ。って聞くまでもないか。
ええ、私は信じてますよ。タイタニックが沈んだのもそのせいだと思ってますし。
Oh,
そのせいっていうのは？
呪いのせいですよ。エジプトのミイラの呪いです。
okay. Jupiter couldn't understand how June had maintained a straight face to say that.
タイタニックにはピラミッドの中から盗掘されたアモンラ神殿の王女のミイラが積まれてたそうなんです。そのミイラがいわくつきで、関わった人たちは次から次へと謎の死を遂げていったと、ほらよく言うじゃないですか。墓を暴く者には災いがもたらされるであろうとかなんとか、あれですよ。
Can't say I have.
そのミイラのせいでタイタニックは沈んだと？
そうです。
June's eyes had lit up with excitement like a child with a new
とこ
toy.
ろで、その王女のミイラなんですけど、とても不思議な、信じられないような特徴があったみたいなんですよね。
というと？
彼女、驚くほど綺麗だったみたいなんです。
綺麗？
はい、
ミイラなのに？
そうです。干からびていたわけでも腐っていたわけでもなく、まるで生きているよう
ああ、それってあれだろ？白岡だったっけ？死体がある特定の環境下に置かれると、体内の脂肪分が文字通りろうそくのろうのように変わって。
違います。
I am once again in awe of the difference in script and voice direction.
What?
Yes, but no. Okay, English text is like, here's what it's actually called. What he's talking about, but also no.
違うんです。白岡とかそういうんじゃなくて。
じゃあなんだよ。
I wouldn't have known what saponification is? With context, maybe, but no.
彼女、凍ってたみたいなんです。
は？凍ってた？
はい。全身がガチガチに。人間の体っておよそ 60% が水分でできてるって言われてるじゃないですか。その水分が全部氷結してたんですよ。発見された時からタイタニックに積み込まれるまでずっと。
It just turned into a frog. Sapo Island, the Frog Island?
凍りついたその体は砂漠の上を運ばれている時でさえ決して溶けることはなかったと言われています。
そんなバカな話。
信じられませんよね。でも淳平くんが知らないだけで、もしかしたら本当にあるかもしれませんよ。
I also like how neither of them are focusing on actually finding anything relevant in the room.
俺が知らないだけ？
ええ、砂漠でかき氷とか実は常識かもしれません。
Excuse me?
え？さすがにそれはないだろ
わかりませんよ。 それもまた順平くんが知らなかっただけかもしれませんし。
Jun and Junpei talked a little more and then went back to the investigation. But even as they did, his mind went back to what she told him.
砂漠の上でも溶けない氷って、そんなもの
Oh,
存在するの
definitely.
か
Akane is definitely the winner here.
いや、仮に存在していたとして、それはもう氷とは呼べないんじゃないか？
The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt. Like he'd eaten his ice cream too fast. Okay. A wooden cupboard, there are cups inside, surprising no one. Thank you! It's a bottle with water in it. This is a bedroom. You probably have it here because your throat always feels dry when you wake up, you know? My throat's dry, but I think that's because I'm a little nervous right now. Well, we did run a lot, so we're kind of sweaty. Hey, Jumpy, did you want to take a shower together? Huh? Whoa. Just kidding. Late to take it back. My brain's already working out the picture. My thought was dry already? This show isn't helping. Huh? Huh? Excuse me? Aki! Moving on. Junpei, my beloved butch lesbian. No. No, he did. No, I'm not sure I would give him that title. Where are you going? Seeing going away. Just gonna go check up on them. Is there something wrong with that? Well, no. Come back soon. Oh. Oh, we are allowed to check out the other. Oh, okay. Or it's just like, okay, let's check every door, but I guess we are allowed to go over to the other room, which means they probably work together somehow. Not bad. It's a tile with a black and white pattern on it. It's not. It's a square tile in this frame. It's fit in there quite well. I don't think you can take it out. No, I'm more assuming that there's stuff missing, but okay. Aha, a candle. And we have matches. A can with a candlestick. This might come in handy. Mine now. As white chocolate is chocolate. I hate white chocolate. I hate it. It's a candle, Junpei. It's on an iron candlestick. It's a pretty big candle. If you light it, it'll probably get really bright. But yes, I'm trying to combine it with the matches. And now if I use these matches to light the candle, I have a lit candle. Ooh. I don't mean to pry, but you lit the candle so we could check that room over there, right? I mean, it is dark, you know? Yeah, so? Well, you need to take it with you then, otherwise there's not really much point to lighting it. Oh, I'm sorry, girl. Let me try again. Awesome! With the light from the candle, maybe you can take a look around over there. It's so hot when I hold it. I want to put it down. But why don't you set it on top of the dresser? It's flat there, at least it won't fall over. Yeah, good idea. I didn't even know that room was dark. Game was like, hey, I know you're just skipping ahead, but... Oh no, I really dislike the taste of white chocolate. I'd rather not have any chocolate at all. Hey, it got pretty bright. Now we can look around a little. Now we can use the dresser key. Let's see if it worked. Aha! Another tile. Okay, that's one of them. It's still really fucking... There's a picture of an old cruise ship. It's the Titanic. It's really not a lot. There's really not that much light in here. Resembling the funny word thing. Hell yeah, we are. Curtain. Huh? Hey, what the hell? It just got dark all of a sudden. Maybe the candle got blown out. We should go see. Each. That was a short candle. There's a candlestick covered in melted wax on top of the dresser. Hey, what's this? The top of the candlestick looks kind of weird. You're right. It's all bumpy. Candlestick key. Let's get out of here. This is a display case. Check it out. These plates and shit look really expensive. You wanna take a look? Yes, that is what I'm trying, because there's another plate in here. Let's get this baby open. See if this candlestick key will do anything. Yes, it opened. Alright, pull that shit open. Another plate! Do I? Santa had shown up out of nowhere and gave Junpei no small start. He was literally right next to you saying pull that shit open, but okay. It's a word you don't know, so it must be the correct answer. Santa pulled something out of his pocket. It looked like a bookmark. It had a 4-leaf clover in it.
なんだよこれ。本でも読めっていうのか？
ソファーの隙間に挟まってたんだ。何の役にも立ちそうもないが、かといって捨てちまうのもなんだろ?
It looks cute. I like bookmarks, but I rarely use them. It's like either I try to read a book in one go as much as possible, or I just remember what page I'm on. That's nice. None left, because they were already in this one.
だったら、お前が持ってればいいじゃないか。
Santa gave him a wry smile.
俺が世界中で最も嫌いな言葉を知ってるか？それは4つある。ホープ、フェイス、ラブ、ラックだ。
希望、信頼、愛、幸運？
そうだ。
それが嫌いな言葉なのか？
ああ、悪いか？
別に悪くはないが。
Okay, Mr. Edgelord. Junpei tried to figure out how to best phrase what he wanted to say.
それとこれとどういう関係があんだよ。
Aww. That's lovely. I have magnetic bookmarks. The only ones I do use sometimes when I do use them are magnetic bookmarks that have like a few of Van Gogh's paintings on them. Because they're pretty, but that's it. Santa scratched the back of his ear and looked awkward.
四つ葉のクローバーの葉っぱにはな、1枚ずつ意味が込められてるんだよ。それが今言った4つの言葉なんだ。要するに花言葉みたいなもんだな。ああ、花じゃないから葉言葉か。リーフワードとでも言うのかね。
Okay.
リーフワードね。
Junpei looked at the bookmark.
ホープ、フェイス、ラブ、ラック、希望、信頼、愛、幸運。ま、とにかくそんなわけで、こいつはお前にやるよ。
Okay.
持ってるだけで寒気がしてくるからな。寒寒。
Santa pretended to shiver with disgust and shoved the bookmark into Junpei's confused hands. What do you want to do? We are going to take it. He decided to take it. Somebody's extremely beautiful bookmark alongside what he asked for. Aww. Have you read the Kindred Spirits manga? Also, yes, absolutely, I want to see. After all, why shouldn't he? Right? Like, why shouldn't you take it? He shoved the thing into his pocket and gave Santa a last confused look.
すっきりしたぜ。なんか厄介払いができたって感じだ。
そんなに嫌いなのかよ。さっきの4つの言葉。
Oh no, no, just yeah. But have you read the manga? That's what I'm asking. You're one of the very few people that I know who have experienced kindred spirits, that's why.
希望も信頼も愛もそれから運命も。
Your destiny. What had happened to Santa, Junpei wondered. How had he become such a bitter person? For a moment they looked at each other.
理由はそれだけじゃないんだけどな。
Okay, nice. I have it as well.
理由？
四つ葉のクローバーが嫌いな理由だよ。4っていう数字がどうも好きになれねえんだ。
まさか死人の死だから。
アホか言わねえよ。 今日小学生でも田舎のババアでもスピリチュアルなんとかにハマってるロハスなせいで
Spiritual.
そんなこと言わねえだろ。
じゃあなんで4が嫌いなんだよ。
中途半端だからだ。
Half his number.
最強でもねえし最弱でもねえ。だから嫌いなんだよ。
This man has beef with the number 4.
あ、
逆に好きなのはなんと言っても9だな。もしくは開き直って豚でもいい。負け方が潔いだろ。
Whatever you say, my man.
何の話だよそりゃ。
Sunday's explanation made no sense. Jupiter was even more confused than
お
before.
前株とかってやんねえの？
株？
Gambling?
おいちょ株の？
そうだな。話の流れ的にそれ以外にねえだろうが。おいちょ株ではな、9は株っつって最強の数字なんだよ。
Le Grand.
逆に0は豚、最弱の数字になる。
What happened to make his hair white in his early 20s? And no, maybe he just bleached it. He was like, I need a new look. Okay? He needed. Maybe he's a natural blonde. And he was like, damn, I don't look edgy enough like this. And then he cut apart a sweater and is now wearing the remains of it as some weird version of a scarf. Yeah. Yeah.
ゼロは豚か。このゲームの首謀者と同じだな。
Santa blinked, utterly stunned. Then he began to laugh.
確かにそうだな。俺たちを閉じ込めた犯人、ゼロは豚野郎に違いねえ。
That was when Lotus spoke up.
そういえばノナリーゲームっておいちょ株に似てるわよね。
Apparently, she'd been listening.
まあおいちょ株の方は数字根なんていうめんどくさいものは使わないけどね。札の数を足して2桁になったら10の位を切り捨ててしまえばいいだけで。でも合計数を1桁に変えて勝負するという意味では同じじゃない？
なるほど。言われてみりゃ確かにそうだな。
それから最終的に9を作ったものが勝ちってところも似てるわ。
9を作ったものが勝ち？
忘れたの？ゼロが言ってたじゃない。
脱出するための出口は船内のどこかに隠されている。探したな。
Something going back to see a different route, but having people reiterate the same thing we've already had explained to us several times is always uncomfortable. It makes sense that it's there again because this might be your first route actually, but also, please, I've heard this explanation so many times.
この船から脱出するには最終的に数字根が9になるようなチームを作らなければならないってことか。
そのチームを作った奴らだけが生き残ることができると。
そういうこと。だからノナリーゲームな。
は？
え？
知らない？ノナリーっていうのは9個からなる九神法のって意味なのよ。語源はラテン語のノナ、9の窃盗時。
Also, yes, every single character in this game does kind of talk like they've each memorized like separate entries of Wikipedia for no fucking reason. I love this game, but sometimes I'm like, okay, yes, please give me this random knowledge that you clearly seem to have. It's a good thing you were part of this game. Where else would you use this kind of knowledge?
ちなみに1の窃盗時はユニね。一角獣、ユニコーンのユニよ。2はバイナリのバイナリっていうのは二進数って意味ね。3のトリはよく耳にするでしょ。トリオとかトリプルとかトライアングルとか。その後はクオルト、クイント、セクサ、セプトと続いて、最後に8の窃盗時であるオクトはオクトパス。ほら、タコって足が8本じゃない？だから。
なるほど。それと同じでノナっていうのは9を表すわけか。
Lotus
ところ
nodded.
で、この船に閉じ込められたのって何人だったっけ
9人だな。
Well, I'm not so sure about that. Seeing as obviously on this specific route we haven't found this guy in the captain's quarters yet, but that also already makes it more than the 9 people. I remain use 9 anyways. What exactly is Lotus' point right now? Well, the rules state that only 3 to 5 people can go through a door. So even if all of us together make the 9, how would we get through the door?
それぞれに割り振られたバングルナンバーは
1から9までだ。
タイムリミットは何時間だったかしら
0は9時間と。
それじゃあ最後、この船から脱出するには
Sometimes I feel like they just like hearing themselves talk.
どこかにある9の扉を開かなければならない。
数字コンが9になるチームを作って。
Lotus nodded again.
そういうこと。このゲームにはあちこちに9という数字が散りばめられてるのよ。9をテーマにしたゲーム。だからノナリーゲームってわけ。
Lotus mostly laughs how nice. I mean, to be fair, she is a great voice actress. Let me check. Oh, that is a lovely bookmark. Oh, hell yeah. Very nice. Love that for you. Somewhere far away, Junpei heard a creak of stressed metal. It sounded almost like Zero laughing at them. What a sad, desperate scream of a pig headed to the slaughterhouse. Okay. Thank you, gang. This is the bathroom wall. The whole wall is covered in these square tiles. Hell yeah! Meow! Didn't exactly voice any of the True. True. Can I? Look, Junpei! There's a mushroom growing out of the wall! That is a shower head. What do you mean? That's a shower head? That's a shower knob. I tried turning it, but no water comes out. There's a little shelf for putting soap on. Okay. Ah. There's a curtain rod running along the ceiling. Let's put the shower curtain on those hooks. I wish foxes were real. Let's try spreading the curtains. Ah! That's a pretty obvious people. Somebody's really dedicated. Well, with the hole this big, you gotta wonder if maybe they wanted to be caught. So you're saying maybe the one getting spied on was into that shit? Maybe they were into like those home invasion fantasies. Home invasion. Interesting, I see. You two are real idiots, you know that? Oh, I didn't want to go all the way out. I think I lost a few frames just now. Don't know why. Start spreading the curtains. There's a hole in the curtain. If I look at it from a ways back, I can see a single tile. Right, from here I can see what tile it is. Looks like it's 5th from the top and 3rd from the right. Fifth from the top and 3rd from the right. Okay, let's get out of here. And check out... Yes, I am. And check out the bathroom on this side because we haven't actually been there yet. Let's see. The bathroom in Lotus's room, I saw a particular tile when I looked through the hole in the shower curtain. Maybe if I look in the same place over here... 5th from the top, 3rd from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are you mumbling about, Jumpy? Oh, sorry. Could you be quiet for a minute? I don't want to forget this. 3rd from the right, 5th from the top, this one. Actually normal for you. Oh, okay. I didn't do anything. Here it is. This one's loose. I think I can get under this with my nails and yes. Aha, there we go. 3 pieces. 3 pieces. Goodbye. Why don't we go back to the living room? Okay, go back. It is a little awkward standing around in the bathroom like this. Alright, let's put these towels in there. I'm supposed to put towels in the empty spaces. Give it a shot. Well, that doesn't seem right. There we go. Yes, I did it. Picture complete. And there goes the frame. What's this? What do you mean, what's this? Pretty obvious, isn't it? It's a hole in the wall. Like a hidden safe or something, you know? Anyways, take a look. I think there's something inside. There sure is. The Mars key! Junpei messed around a bit with the key he had and looked blankly at the picture that set down. There it is. Sand had only been mumbling to himself, but it drew Lotus's attention. She looked at the picture and paused. Oh.
どこで？
本の中でイギリスの生化学者シールド・レイクという人が面白い学説を唱えててね。それについて書かれた本の中で見たのよ。
面白い学説って？
形態形成場仮説、あるいは形成的因果作用の仮説。
ああ、ダメだ。聞いただけで頭が痛くなってきそうだ。
Santa put his hands on his head as though he were in great pain. Lotus merely arched an eyebrow in his direction and continued.
別にそんなに難しい話じゃないんだけどな。要するに、生物の形や行動パターンといったものは、目には見えないフィールドを介して伝わっているんじゃないか。
おいおい、それのどこが簡単だって言うんだ。
Lotus did not look pleased. Well, she likes listening to herself talk, and she likes it even more if people actually pay attention and don't interrupt her. Ow, 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 ow. Gee!
じゃあ、こう言ったら分かってもらえるかしら？テレパシーのメカニズムに関する仮説。
テレパシー？
そう、テレパシー。本当はちょっと違うんだけどね。まあ、ざっくり言うとそうなるわ。
Santa suddenly burst into laughter.
なんだよ、テレパシーって。昭和の小学生じゃあるまいし。そんなもんを真面目に研究してる学者がいるとは驚きだね。
Oh, they do research on even weirder things, no worries.
そうね。私
Lotus's response was surprisingly curt. Junpei had expected at least some conflict.
私はただ本を読んだだけで、何もその仮説を信じてるわけじゃないもの。擁護するつもりなんてさらさらないわ。単なるとんでも理論。仰々しい言葉を並べ立てて、さもありなんと説明しただけの疑似科学。
Oh yeah, for sure.
私だってそう思ってる。そう。まあとにかく、その本の中で見たのよ。これと似たような絵を。
Lotus indicated the picture they'd all been looking at. After a moment, she walked up to the strange picture, examined it, and then spoke.
これ、何に見える？
Santa answered first.
何って、ただの抽象画だろ？白と黒だけで描かれた意味不明な絵だ。そうとしか言いようがない。
I think it looks like a dog.
純平君はどう？何かに見えない？
Still.
そうだな。
But that's not the answer that we want to do. I think it looks like a dog. Me personally. Like, this here is the head, and this is the rest of the body. Obviously, it's the Funya Rimpa. Wait, I haven't actually ever given that answer. We should see what that is. Oh, but I don't want to go all the way back. I want to show you guys the funny answer, but I don't want to go all the way back. Hold on. I would like. Thank you.
ふにゃリンパかな。この辺なんかまさにふにゃリンパの特徴を如実に表してるし。
Junpei indicated parts of the picture that looked exactly like the other parts. After 3 seconds of silence, Stardust looked at Junpei.
なんなのよ、ふにゃリンパって。
ふにゃリンパはふにゃリンパだよ。知らないのか？
知らないわよ、そんなもん。
おやおや、このご時世にふにゃリンパを知らない奴がいるとは驚きだな。ふにゃリンパに対しても失礼だぞ。謝れ。ふにゃリンパに謝れ、この無礼者が。
Another 3 seconds of awkward silence went by. Lotus opened her mouth as he shook.
純平くん、ふざけてるの？もういいわ。正解を言うわね。
No, sorry. Anyway, it looks like a small boat floating in a lake. I personally don't see that. I have no idea where exactly you're supposed to see a boat in there, but yeah.
湖に浮かぶ小舟かな。この辺が船の頭で、この辺からオールが突き出てて。
Junpei indicated parts of the picture that look exactly like the other parts.
残念。外れよ。
Lotus smiled
正
triumphantly.
解は小型犬。
Yeah.
ほら、こんな感じで。
Lotus pointed out parts of the picture and eventually a dog took shape in them. It looked as though she had a point. It was a dog. Senta also nodded in agreement.
それで絵の正体は分かったけど、だから何なんだよ。
Lotus nodded and began to
イギリ
speak.
スのあるテレビ局でね、こんな実験をしたの。
Are you watching a lot of stuff from the greatest of Britons?
まず、これと同じような絵を2枚用意する。両方ともパッと見ただけではわからないんだけど、でも正解を教えられたらもうそれにしか見えなくなってしまうような、そんな絵をね。片方は帽子をかぶった貴婦人の絵、もう片方はとりあえず分かりやすくするためにこの小型犬の絵だったってことにしておきましょうか。でね、実験を行ったテレビ局はこの2枚の絵をどうしたのかっていうと、
I don't know if I ever saw this as anything other than a dog.
まずそれらをこの局の放送電波が届かない遠隔地へと送ったの。アイルランドやアメリカ、アフリカ、ヨーロッパの各地へと。そして被験者が募られた。総数は約1000人。その1000人に対して2枚の絵を見せ、何に見えるかと尋ねたそうよ。結果は次の通り。貴婦人の絵を見て貴婦人の絵だと分かった人の割合は
Good evening. How are you?
小型犬の絵を見て小型犬の絵だと分かった人の割合は 3.9% だった。
That's surprisingly few people.
それから2日後、次にテレビ局は30分の番組の中で小型犬の絵だけを答えとともに流したの。視聴者の数はおよそ200万人。これにより小型犬の絵について正解を知っている者はこの時の放送を境に一気に200万人に増えたわけね。そしてさらに2日が経ち、もう一度世界各地において被験者が募られることになった。
I'm okay. A little tired. I'm trying to hopefully make it through this room, but I don't know for how much longer we're gonna go. Probably not much further.
今度の数は850人前後。もちろん全員が1回目の被験者とは別人。でも行われたことは全く同じ。2枚の絵を見せて何に見えるかと質問したのよ。すると驚くべき結果が出た。 貴婦人の絵を見て貴婦人の絵だと分かった人の割合は 10% だった。前回は 9.2% だったから、まあこれはほぼ誤差の範囲と見ていいわね。問題は小型犬の絵の方。それを見て小型犬の絵だと分かった人の割合は前回が 3.9% だったのに対して今回は 6.8% と大幅に増えていたの。わかる？これが何を意味するのか。繰り返しになるけど、被験者たちは番組を見てるはずがないのよ。局のあるイギリスから遠く離れたとこに住んでたんだもの。当然よね。にもかかわらず、答えとともに放送された小型犬の方だけ正解率が上がったの。なぜ？どうして？これは一体どういうこと？
What does it mean? Lotus looked back and forth from Junpei to Santa and back again. Normally calm and collected, she looked now as though she were very nearly possessed, and there was something manic about her manner. Santa took an involuntary step backward. Junpei didn't budge and stared straight back into Lotus's
も
eyes.
しかしてさっき言ってたフィールドとやらが関係してるのか。目には見えないフィールド。答えを知っているものが多ければ多いほどそのフィールドを介して情報が伝わりやすくなるとか。
なわけないでしょ。
Her manner suddenly shifted and Lotus smiled broadly at Junpei and Santa. She raised her hand dismissively, doing her best to laugh the whole
冗
confrontation
談
off.
よ冗談。真に受けないでくれる？
Girl, we just spent so much time on it though. What do you mean? No, don't take it seriously, huh?
あ、話したことは全部事実よ。公表されてるものとしてはね。だけど、実験の結果は意図的に操作されてる可能性もあるし。
I mean, I guess.
多分話題作りのための捏造。やらせ番組だったのよ、きっと。
They're just a TV station after all. Okay. At last, it seemed that Santa had gained control of his composure.
だよな。びっくりしたぜ。本気で信じてるのかと思っちまったじゃねえか。
そんなわけないじゃない。
Of course not, she says. I'm not so sure about that.
最初に言ったでしょ。単なるとんでも理論家、疑似科学だって。
そっかそっか。
Santa and Lotus laughed and gave one another jovial claps on the shoulder. Junpei, however, didn't feel so much like laughing. Something felt wrong, unclear.
さあ、ヨタ話はこれでおしまい。鍵は手に入ったんだし、早く行きましょう。
だな。
Lotus and Santa walked away from the picture, but Junpei stayed, staring at the picture of the dog.
目には見えないフィールド。携帯形成場仮説か。
The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt. Big mood. This game also makes my heart hurt sometimes. Let's go to the hallway. I'll go get you and you guys head to the door. Okay. Roger that. Let's get out of here. It unlocked. Good job, Junpei. Good. Now we can get going. Come on, what are you guys standing around for? Let's get out of here. That's the plan. Just sitting near the other cabin while these three yap away for half an hour. For real? Come on, Junpei, let's go. Alright, let's go. Ja-jang! Another hallway. Woo! Don't you love being in hallways? I love being in hallways. They stepped through the door to find themselves in a wide
ここ
hallway.
は
Junpei, June, Lotus, and Santa stopped for a moment and looked at their surroundings. A short distance away, a metal gate extended across the width of the hallway. Yeah, That's usually how metal crates open, for sure.
鉄格子がそんなに簡単に外れるわけないでしょ。
くそ、ダメか。
It took hold and shook, but it refused to move.
見てください、こっち。
Nearby was a pair of
エレベータ
elevators.
ーか。ボタンは押しても反応がないな。
Why would they?
大階段の時と同じですね。やっぱり電力系統が遮断されているんでしょうか。
残るはこの扉だけか。どうやらここを開くしかなさそうだな。
ああ。
そうですね。
開けてみましょう。
よし、行くぞ。
Junpei grabbed hold of the knob and quietly pushed the door open. He entered slowly, trying to take in as much of his surroundings as he could. The others followed shortly.
なんだ、厨房かよ。
Santa did not look pleased.
何を期待してたんですか。
そんなの決まってんだろ。
The exit.
出口だよ。外に出るための。
Bruh. I don't think it's going to be that easy. You know? What made you think it was going to be this easy?
そう簡単に出してくれるわけないだろ。
わかってっけどさ。
Oh, sorry. My note. Yeah. I was about to say, my nose feels like I'm going to sneeze when it's coming out. Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the pet. As he talked, Lotus headed deeper into the room. Until at last she stood in front of a door.
ここを開けば、さっきの鉄格子の向こう側に出られそうね。
鍵はやっぱりダメか。
Neither Junpei nor Lotus looked terribly happy.
とりあえず
Yeah.
確認しておくか。
I forgot that it's 2 rooms back to back. Junpei took the ship map from his pocket and spread it out in front of him. As he did.
ちょっと。
Hmm?
なんだよそれ。
ああ、そういえばまだ行ってなかったな。
Yeah, we found a map in the other room, by the way. Teehee, ho ho.
さっきの部屋で見つけたんだよ。この B デッキの船内マ。
Before Junpei could finish, Lotus snatched the map away from him. She ran her finger across it, muttering to
やっ
herself.
ぱりそうだわ。ほら、見て。
なんだよ、いきなり。
Isn't there there's multiple rooms each? Yeah. I forgot. Let's try. Maybe we can make it through this one. I don't know how much they're going to yap in between. The puzzles themselves don't take that long. It's mostly just a whole bap, 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 bap. Junpei did as he was told.
何か分かったんですか。
Santa and June moved over to look at the map as well.
こいつは。
ね、ここから入って、ここから出れば、鉄格子の向こう側に。
With her finger, Lotus traced a path on the map.
確かに、これなら向こう側に出られそうだな。
そういうこと。はい、返すわ。
Thank you. Satisfied that she'd been correct, Lotus folded the map and handed it back to Junpei.
おう。
He took it and slid the valuable piece of paper back into his pocket.
ドアの右側にカードリーダーがついてますね。
てことは、この部屋のどこかにカードキーが。
多分、そういうことでしょうね。
よし、そうと分かれば話は早い。早速行動を開始だ。手分けして探そう。
了解です。
Alright. Seek a way out. Kitchen. A sink. It's still got water in it. There's a couple plates in there, but I don't think they're gonna help as much. There. There was some though. What a nice dish rack. I'd love to have that in my kitchen. Why don't you take it back with you? Are you offering to carry it for me? Why don't you ask 7? You're kidding. You don't honestly think I'd let a beast like that into my home, do you? What is her problem with 7, by the way? Like... Okay, he's a big dude, so? He doesn't seem like a bad guy. Cheese! There's something behind the cheese. You're right, why don't we move some of the cheese? Okay, it's time to move it. June and I need to look behind you. What the hell is that? There's a little green bottle back there. Bottle of oil. Anything else? A shelf has a white cloth on it. Okay. You could take it off. Okay, you don't want to take it off. That is fair and valid. What about this one? There's milk in here. Milk in an iron barrel. Judging by the rest, it's probably really old. Maybe we shouldn't open it up. I don't think it'd be a pretty sight. Okay, maybe not. What else? This table looks really old-fashioned. Probably means this is an old boat. Not really what I was going for, but okay. This pot looks like it's made out of silver. I bet drinking tea from this pot would be really yummy. Spending a day off with you and drinking tea. Could such a day ever happen for me? Nothing? We don't really need hot water, so we should be moving on. Are you sure about that? Well, maybe. What's this? A voucher. It says appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish F. Okay. 9 plates look pretty expensive. The plates for appetizers. Remember, appetizers usually come on square plates. Okay, well, excuse me, princess. Wow! I wonder when the script was written. That's the exit. There's a big iron plate over the door. Oh, okay. That's the exit. Wait. I hope I'm making it very clear that I have a lot of trouble figuring out where exactly in a room I'm at any given time in these games. Like, okay, this one is supposed to be the exit door. What is this one in? Santa, could you open that door, please? What the hell? There's no way I could open that thing. Guess you're getting to the age where your eyes start to go, huh? You better wash your mouth, boy, or someone won't live long enough to see that door open. Let's got the two of them on edge. We gotta get out of here fast. Okay, so we're not getting that door open either, whatever it is. What about this thing? It's a lot of notes. They've got a bunch of stuff written on them, but it doesn't look like a code or anything like that. What about this one? This bowl just rested in place, it won't budge. So maybe if I put some oil on it? Hey, just a little bit of oil and... Come on, you little son of a bitch! It actually works! Huh, I'm surprised. You little bastard. You did it, Jumpy. You're so smart. Yeah, just rub oil on stuff. That's fine. I'm missing something. And I'm trying very hard to figure out where to get it from because I don't remember. Countertop. There's a rolling pin and colander here. Nothing useful. What the fuck is a colander? What are you guys saying? A pot and a frying pan and a pressure cooker. Guess we could use some of those as weapons. What kind of an idiot are you? You're gonna run around holding that thing while you're looking for the dead? Hey man, it was just a joke. Why so serious? I don't know, maybe because we're in a game for our life. Some bottles of seasoning in here. Where is it? It's going. Do you think this was all part of Zero's plan? Probably. Kinda hard to believe there's a chef on board somewhere. I wonder what this drawer is. You see the metal grate on top of the grill? They make it like that so that the fat and juices can drip off of the meat while it cooks. Uh-huh. Do you think there's anything in there? Looks like the area under the plate opens up. No, you can't. I already checked, it's sealed shut. I think that's where the coal goes. Okay, not helpful then. What? I am losing my mind because I know for a fact there's something else in this room, but I don't remember where. The tank with a pipe coming out of it, nothing really that special about it. Okay, you know what? I don't remember where that is. What's this door? Right, we were in here, never mind. Shelf has a white cloth on it. Oh! Oh, okay, that's nice. Not what I wanted to do though. Whatever! As Junpei walked into the room, a blast of cold air washed over him. Almost instinctively, he folded his arms tight across his chest, doing what he could to conserve body heat. Freezer! Santa's teeth had already begun to chatter. Hardly surprising. The freezer was far too cold for someone dressed as he was. Notice, however, was in an even worse situation.
こんなのとてもじゃないけど耐えられないわ。3秒で冷凍マグロになっちゃいそう。悪いけど私は遠慮させてもらうわね。あとは任せたわ。
And with that, she ran out of the room. As Lotus left, June came in. White puffs of steam hovered in front of their faces as they talked. June had already started to shiver.
お前はいいよ。さっきまで熱があったんだ。外にいろよ。
ええ、大丈夫ですよ。熱ならもう下がりましたから。
だけど。
Junpei had scarcely opened his mouth. Well, that's unfortunate. When the thunderous sound of metal upon metal rang out from behind them. In unison, they spun around to find that the door they had only recently come through was closed. Junpei rushed to the door. Desperately, he grabbed hold of the doorknob. It was cold, beyond cold. Merely touching it was painful. He quickly deduced that the pipe next to the door had ruptured. Water released by the rupture had hit the door and frozen instantly. Santa shoved Junpei aside and pounded against the door. She wasted no time in responding.
何よ。どうしたっていうの？
ドアが開かなくなっちまったんだ。そっちから開けてみてくれ。頼む。
しょうがないわね。わかったわ。ちょっと待ってて。
Soon they could hear Lotus on the other side of the door. It's not opening! Then the grinding ceased and they could hear Light panting as if from exertion.
ダメ。びくともしないわ。そっちの方が人数多いんだから、なんとかしなさいよ。
だそうだ。
Santa was shaking like a newborn deer. June was hugging herself and was shivering violently. Even Junpei, with the heaviest clothes of any of them, was clearly feeling the cold. With every breath they took, they could feel the cold working its way deeper and deeper into their bodies.
とにかく何か方法を探そう。このままじゃ3人とも氷の柱になっちまう。
3人よれば文殊の知恵です。きっとなんとかなりますよ。
そうだな。
Good thing you have 3 hats.
とりあえずこの部屋を片っ端から探してみよ
う。了解だ。
They pushed in close to one another and began to search. Hey, room. Dry eyes. Junpei picked up the dry eyes with his sleeve so as to avoid burning himself.
ドライアイスって二酸化炭素が固体になったものだったよな、確か。
そうだな。
だいたい何度くらいから気体になるんだろう。
さあ、そんなこと聞いてどうすんだよ。
いや、ここから出るのに何か役に立つんじゃないかと思ってさ。
They were about to move on when June spoke up.
二酸化炭素の消化点はおよそマイナス79度です。
79?
それよりも温度が高ければ気体に、低ければ固体になります。
Junpei looked at her dumbfounded.
お前、よくそんなこと知ってるな。
こう見えても私雑学王ですから。
She's winning the autism of.
噛むなよ。
Aha.
寒くて、ろれつが回らないんだな。
はい。
お前、わざとやってんだろ。
June giggled and did her best to hide her guilt. At least she was still feeling good enough to joke around, Junpei told
そ
himself.
れにしても不思議だよな。なんで二酸化炭素は液体にはならねえんだろ
Santa was now shivering at an astounding rate, but his curiosity seemed unaffected. Junpei. He wanted out of the freezer now. His patience was wearing thin.
知らねえよ。知らねえし、知ったところで何になるんだよ。今はそんなことよりも。
なりますよ。
You can talk about this after you're out of here. Junpei stopped mid-sentence, surprised by June's
高い
interjection.
圧力を加えれば二酸化炭素も液体になります。
おいおい、まともに答えてる場合じゃねえだろうが。
だって私も疑問に思ってたから。
何を。
蒸圧で二酸化炭素が液体にならないことを。
だろ不思議だよな。水は0度から100度の間で液体になるのに。なんで二酸化炭素はならねえんだよ。
I'm sorry, I get severely upset that games, just because they're localized by American people, and then they change the text to be, haha, actually, you know how the original uses Celsius? Fuck you. Here's Fahrenheit. What the fuck do you mean? What's 212 degrees?
H2O も CO2 も似たようなもんじゃねえか。
似たようなもんじゃねえよ。全然違う物質だろうが。というか、このままだと俺たち本当に氷の彫像になっちまうぞ。
I feel like Junpei really is the only one with urgency in here.
いいのか？いいわけねえよな。
He fixed both of them with a glare.
さあ、分かったらさっさと動くんだ。来年の札幌雪まつりに飾られたくないならな。
Junpei turned around, the problem dealt with.
でも淳平くん、
Or so he thought.
0度以上でも液体にはならない氷ってあるみたいですよ。私聞いたことがあるんです。融点が36度の水が存在するって。
融点が36度の水？それって36度でも凍っちまう水ってことか。
Yeah. Especially if you have the option to turn on the Japanese voice acting, so you hear them say the Celsius, and then the text is just like, no.
逆に言うと36度になるまで溶けない氷とも言う。
Because they sure as hell are not saying 96. They're saying 32. Water that freezes at 96 degrees. Ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees. I mean, it's interesting, sure, but we don't really have the time for it. Now that was difficult to ignore. Junpei had to
なん
ask.
だよ、その融点が36度の水って。
アイスナインっていうみたいです。
アイスナイン？
もともとはアメリカの SF 作家が考えた架空の物質だったみたいなんですけど、でも最近それが本当に存在することが発見されたらしくて。
待ってくれ。そのアイスナインとやらは氷なのか水なのか？
だから36度を超えると液体に、それ以下だと
Switch to Kelvin, which no one uses. Actually, yes. That way no one will know what the hell they're talking about anymore.
私たちがよく知っている普通の水、H2O の多形態みたいなものです。ダイヤモンドと黒鉛みたいな関係といえば分かってもらえるでしょうか。ダイヤモンドも黒鉛も両方とも炭素でできてるでしょ。だけど結晶の構造が違うから硬さも性質も全然違っていて。
I love this one. This song of the OST though. Very good.
要するに普通の水とアイスナインの関係もそれと似たようなものだと。
そうです。
She wasn't
グリセリ
finished.
ンの結晶化の話って知ってますか？グリセリンは発見されてから150年近くもの間、冷やそうと温めようと寒い親父ギャグを連発しようと決して結晶化することはなかったそうなんです。ところが1920年代のある日、イギリスへと輸送中だったグリセリンが一隻の貨物船の中で偶然結晶化したらしいんです。そこで世界中の科学者たちは研究のためにそのグリセリンの主結晶を分けてもらうことにしたのだそうです。主結晶とは結晶を作るための核となるもののこと。
Okay.
この核さえあれば比較的容易に結晶を作ることが可能になる。ところがここで驚くべき現象が発生したんです。どういうわけかその核を使ったグリセリンばかりか、容器に密閉しておいたはずのグリセリンまでもが突如結晶化を始めたらしいんです。しかも話はそれだけでは終わりませんでした。この時期を境に世界中に存在するありとあらゆるグリセリンが 17.8 度まで温度を下げさえすれば自然に結晶化するようになったというんです。それまでは増やそうと何をしようと決して結晶化することはなかったのに、ひとたび結晶化が生じた途端。
It's also funny how they've given up on making them try to sound like they're shivering. It's like, no, now is the time for us to listen to an in-depth explanation of stuff you've probably never thought about in your life.
まるでなんて言えばいいんでしょう。あたかもグリセリン同士が互いにささやき合っているかのように、目には見えない何かで情報を伝え合っているかのように、その現象は瞬く間に世界各地へと広がっていったんです。
Junpei was honest. I mean, it is impressive, but it's really not the time. I was honestly impressed. It was, in fact, a pretty interesting
なるほど
story.
な。面白い話だ。面白い話ではあるが、それでその話とさっきのアイスナインの話。
To his surprise, it was Santa, not June, who answered.
要するに今の話とアイスナインの話は同じだってことだろ。
同じって同じじゃ困るだろうが、水が36度で凍っちまうような現象が世界各地に広まったりしたら、そんなことになったら
この世は終わりだな。
Junpei felt that Santa might not be treating the idea of the end of the world with the proper
ま
concern.
あその前に俺たちの人生の方が終わりに近づいてるっぽいけどな。
Oh, really? Suddenly? He was right. Junpei shivered.
さあ、無駄話はこれで終わりだ。まさかこんなに長引くとはな。話を振ったのは俺だが、もうさすがに限界なんだ。マジで。いや、俺は確かにサンタだが、フィンランドで育ったわけじゃない。寒いのは苦手なんだ。というわけだから翔くん、さっさと動こう。早く脱出方法を探そうぜ。
Santa stomped off, clearly doing his best to pretend the cold wasn't affecting him.
勝手なやつだ。
Still, Santa was right, and it was high time they got back to the
アイ
search.
スナインか。気にはなるけど、考えるのは後回しだな。
Junpei looked at June, nodded, and resumed the search of the room. Thank you, Jesus. Can I please check out the rest of this freezer? What is this? No. Frozen chicken. Anything else? No. Okay, frozen chicken. What else? I cannot check this. What about any of the stuff in... This thing's frozen solid. This pork? Yeah, seems like it. What's this thing? It looked like a tag or something. A chunk of pork. Everything's frozen in here. It doesn't look like there's anything else interesting. Okay. What about this? Huh? A water bottle. So much stuff in here. Why don't we take some out of it without Jumpy? I mean, I'm trying. Storage area built into the full like a small cellar. There are a couple of bottles in here. Nothing else? Okay. Good. How does this work again? Oh wait, there is something else. Thank you. Let's see. How does this one work again? Let me combine the dry ice and the chicken thing. Dry ice is all in pieces now. Ah, crumbled dry ice. And then let me combine this with the water bottle. And combine this with the rope. Now we have a water bottle bomb. So let's blow this thing to high heaven. One water drip from the ruptured pipe near the door.
アイスの詰め込まれたペットボトルにこの水を注いで
A water bumble.
しっかりと蓋をしてそして完成したペットボトル爆弾をドアノブに準備完了だ。あとはどうすりゃいいんだっけ？
衝撃を加えるんだよ。すでにボトルはパンパンに膨れ上がってる。小石でもぶつけてやりゃ勝手にドカンだ。
小石か。
I don't have a rock, I have a piece of cork. Drip it down at the floor. Or some ice. Scattered across it were pieces of dry ice left over from the larger chunk he'd crushed earlier.
これで行こう。
Granted, usually you're supposed to check the door first and kind of figure it out from there, but we don't really care about that, do we? We already know what to do.
なるほど。
He pulled a sleeve down over his hand to keep from getting burned and grabbed the chunk of dry ice. It was a pretty good size. About as big as a
危な
pool
いから離
ball.
れてろ。どこか物陰にでも隠れてるんだ。
Both Santa and June looked at him with new
物
concern.
陰って言われてもな。
There's a door right behind you. Not gonna.
身を潜められそうなところはどこにも。
There is. There quite clearly is.
なんだろうが。ほら、ここだよ。この中だ。
Junpei pulled open the door to the small cellar.
さあ、早くこの中に。
Santa and June nodded and jumped down into the hole. Junpei quickly followed. In his hand, he could feel the chill of the frozen carbon dioxide even through his sleeve. He tightened the script, took aim, and prepared to throw.
それじゃ行くぞ。さあ、よ、5。増えてます。間違えた。
たくいつの時代のコントだよ。
You're counting the wrong
さ
way.
あさあ、今度こそ本気で行くからな。準備はいいか？
いつでも OK です。
いいからさっさと投げろよ。
よし、それじゃあ行くぞ。3、2、
Junpei threw a chunk of dry ice as hard as he could. With the same motion, he ducked down into the cellar with Santa and June, just as... Junpei leapt up out of the cellar and ran to the door.
純平くん、ドアについてた氷が。
あ、なくなってるな。よ
爆発の衝撃で砕け散ったんだ。
し、開けてみよう。
Junpei grabbed the knob and pushed with all his might. There we go. The door gave way easily, and all three of them tumbled out of the freezer at once. Imagine if they had accidentally managed to blast off the entire door handle and they couldn't open the door. Like, oh, congratulations. You fucked up. June, relieved, collapsed onto the floor.
どけ。
Santa shoved past Junpei and ran straight to the grill, which he immediately grabbed.
あっち。熱すぎなんだよ、バカ野郎。
What did you expect from a grill? He proceeded to kick the grill in a futile but amusing fit of
そり
rage.
ゃ焼くためのものだしな。暖を取るためのものじゃない。そういえば、ヤシロはどこだ？
They would have been able to open the door from the other side. I know, still. It took Junpei only a moment to find her. She was sitting on a counter, idly scratching her chest.
おかえりなさい。待ちくたびれちゃった。
Don't fucking do that. With a great yawn, Lotus lowered herself off of the counter. Junpei clenched his teeth and walked toward her.
お前、何してたんだよ。
何って。待ってたんだけど。
死ぬところだったんだぞ。
そう。でも、死んでないじゃない。よかったよかった。冗談よ。 こう見えても心配してたんだからね。
嘘つけ。
嘘じゃないわよ。あなたたちに死なれたら困るもの。私もここに閉じ込められたまま。結局はオーダー物でしょ。できる限りのことはやったわ。何か扉をこじ開けられそうなものはないかって探したりもした。だけどなかったの。だったらもう待つしかないでしょ。それとも何 ?119 番に電話でもかけてればよかったのかしら。
I was sure that there wasn't much she could have done, but something about her tone. Junpei gritted his
そう
teeth.
か。だが一つだけ確かめておきたいことがある。
何？
扉を閉めたのはお前じゃないよな。
ちょっとやめてよ。疑ってるわけ？私がそんなことするわけないじゃない。扉は勝手に閉まったの。さっきも言ったけど、あなたたちに死なれたら私だって困るんだから。
まあそうだよな。
It seemed that an accident was the only explanation for the door's closure.
もしもヤシロが俺たちを殺そうとしていたのなら、扉の外から缶抜きをかければいいだけだ。けど彼女はそれをしなかった。何もしなかったってのは密室の恋とは言えるかもしれないが、少なくとも明確な殺意があったわけじゃないと思う。
Junpei swallowed his anger and did his best to apologize.
悪かったな。疑ったりして。
あ？うん。まあ、分かってもらえればそれでいいんだけどさ。
Lotus looked away and twirled her hair between her fingertips. His vengeance against the grill complete, Santa swaggered back toward Junpei and Lotus.
おい、お前らいつまでくっちゃべってんだよ。休み時間はこれで終わりだ。特にそっちの女はさっきからずっと休みっぱなしだしな。
失礼ね。私だっていろいろと。
いいから口の前に手と足を動かせ。捜索再開だ。
Okay, great. We have managed to get out of there, but I still don't. I know I'm missing one specific thing and I don't remember where to get it. I feel like I've checked everything, but apparently not. Dish rag is filled with plate and cups. This table is for preparing food. There are plates everywhere. Where is it? This place is for serving me. You're really ignorant. Who cares? Or maybe over here, a countertop. We've got a rolling pin and calling it. No, that's just this one from another perspective. I am losing my mind. I know for a fact you can find a knife. I know for a fact you can find a knife. And I don't think it's in here because we've checked everything in here, right? This is the cheese. This is Gouda cheese, the most famous Dutch cheese. If you don't cut open the casing, it usually won't go bad, so you can store it at room temperature for quite a while. We can eat this? Most likely. I'm not hungry, like at all. I guess it's hard to get hungry in a situation like this. That's fair. Where the fuck is the knife in this room? Time to go back into the freezer. It's not. It would be funny, but it's not. There's a big barrel of milk behind the cloth, I know. We have checked the cheeses. Oh my fucking god, game, I hate you. There's a knife.
錆びた包丁か。このままじゃ使い物にならなそうだな。
The knife seemed important, Junpei thought, but it wasn't going to be much use the way it was.
フューティリティってやつですね。
Excuse me.
フューティリティ？
無駄なもの、無益なもの、役立たずって意味です。
Futile existence has no meaning.
それでなんで突然そんな英単語を？
いえ、特に意味はないんですけど、ちょうどフューティリティについて考えてたところだったので。
Chie, do you know any other words that start with F? Stick. Excellent.
は？
She wasn't making much sense. Junpei tried rephrasing his
どう
question.
してフューティリティなんてもんについて考えてたんだよ。
Because she needed something else to yap to you about. Thank you for the hide time and the posture check and the pad. Let me do the posture check first. Hold on. Are you for real? I don't think I've ever seen the mom is our mom quote, and now we've seen it twice today? At last, she
タイタ
answered.
ニックと関係があるからですよ。
Of course it does.
タイタニックと？
そうです。タイタニックの沈没は予言されていたって話聞いたことないですか？
Hey, listen, I'm always glad it's not the babies, but still. Yes, that is several cheeses.
ああ、それってあれだろ？タイタニックが沈没するよりも前に書かれた小説の内容が実際に起こった事故の様子と酷似していたとか。
はい。その小説のタイトルがフューティリティだったんですよ。書かれたのはタイタニック号が沈没する14年も前のことになります。
You want a wheel of cheese?
にもかかわらず、
だから知ってるって。さすがに小説のタイトルまでは知らなかったが、要するにいろいろと書いてあった内容が一致してたんだろ？タイタニックのそれと。
To be fair, Yakuza 6 gave us a bunch of quotes.
だけどそれって捏造だったみたいだぜ。
捏造？
船の設定に関する記述はタイタニックが沈んだ後に書き加えられたものらしい。客船が氷山に激突して沈没するってとこだけは最初からあったみたいだが。
Yeah. During that stream, I heard something crash downstairs, so I literally had to get up and like check on my parents to see if anything had happened. I cannot tell you at this point anymore what it was that had fallen, but no one got hurt or anything, so it's all good. That's where that quote was from. Akane is very cute.
小説が出版されたのは確かに1898年。
No, that was real life. We haven't gotten back to Final Fantasy 15 because it died on me during one of the very first cutscenes, kind of. And the game runs like ass on PC. Granted, it doesn't feel like it runs much better on a console, but oh well.
だからそれは初版本だったんだよ。
Maybe I'll try again on console sometime. See if it's any better. I would like to play it through it properly.
それから14年が経ち、作者はタイタニック号の事故について知ったんだ。そこでいわゆる便乗商法ってやつだな。彼は14年前に書いた小説の設定をタイタニックのそれと合うように過失修正して再版したってわけだ。
Oh. Surprised by Junpei's response, Jun seemed rather taken aback.
そうだったんです。
そう、予言だの予知だの。そんなもんあるわけないだろ。
For a moment, Jun looked very unhappy, more so than Junpei thought was normal for such a discussion. But it lasted only a moment. With no apparent reason, she suddenly looked up at him alarmed.
でも、タイタニックの沈没を予言した本はそれだけじゃないんですよ。
それだけじゃない？
そうです。ウィリアム・トーマス・ステッドという人が書いた小説の中にも同じようなことが。もちろん書かれたのは事故の前のことです。1886年と1892年。ステッドは氷山に激突して沈没する客船の話をなんと2度も書いてるんです。
I mean, if you look long enough, you will always find someone having written something that will later on exist. In real life, maybe, to an extent. Given sort of the RAM upgrade, would be interesting to see if that has any effect. Maybe? I think if you look for it, a lot of the community has tried to improve on the PC port as well, but... I don't know. I think I might just be particularly unlucky with my PC as well. I wanted to play it on PC though, you know, just in case. Because it's simply easier to tweak some things on PC than it is on a console. But also, yeah. You can run games with RPG Maker web fishing. What? I've played a bunch of Balatro this weekend. I showed a friend Balatro because I wanted to show her for the longest time, and this weekend we actually finally got around to it. And I had one of the most amazing runs ever. And she was like, oh, what do you mean you're not good at this game? This was super easy. And we have not gotten through a single run afterwards.
両方とも救命ボートが足らずに乗客たちがパニックを起こすという内容でした。
Using the basic. Oh.
それだけじゃなんともな。当時は客船が氷山とぶつかるのもさほど珍しいものじゃなかったと思うし。
まあそうですね。そう言うと思ってました。
Personally, I am very creeped out by like deja vus. Like, I can never remember for a long time after the fact, but while it happens, when I get a deja vu, I do tend to remember when it's like, wait, didn't this happen to me already? Wasn't this something that already happened? And on one hand, I'm like, okay, I do live a very monotone life. I do a lot of the same things day in, day out, I guess. But also, sometimes it just catches you completely off guard and you're like, what? That's too detailed. Why do I get a detailed deja vu like this? Like, when was I ever in this exact situation? You know? Situation. So I'm always a little, But I try not to think about it too much. Because I do not want to think about it too deeply, to think that maybe somewhere out there's another timeline where I'm living a different life. And sometimes it gets a little confused or whatever, which one I'm on. I do not want to think about those things. Phantom Immortality at play, y'all die and be doing the timeline shit. Oh, no, you know what? Let's focus on whatever the fuck Akane is talking about. I'm pretty sure you thought I dreamed about it more than a decade ago. Let's not get into exes. Yeah, let's not. Please, I just want to get out of this room because we're already going way over time. And I can't actually... No, I can't do that.
自動書記？例に取り憑かれた人の手が本人の意思とは無関係に勝手に動き始めて文章を書いてしまうっていう。
そうです。
そうですって。そんなもん思いっきり眉唾じゃないか。
でも純平君、呪いとか信じてるって。
それとこれとは話は別だ。というか、100万歩譲って自動書記なんてものがあったとしても、だからといってタイタニックの事故を予言できたことにはならないだろう。そのステッドとかってやつが小説を書いた時には当然事故による死者なんて存在しなかったわけで、自動書記が例の憑依によって行われるものだとするなら、一体誰が彼に事故のことを書かせたっていうんだ。
Someone from the future.
違うんですよ。
何が違う？
ステッドは霊に取り憑かれてたわけじゃないんです。
Okay.
取り付いてたんですよ。
Huh?
はあ？
What are you smoking?
ウィリアム・トーマス・ステッドはタイタニック号の乗客だったんです。彼はただ自分の目にした光景をそっくりそのまま描いただけなんですよ。
Huh?
事故が起こる20年以上前に。
He decided it was probably best to say nothing. What June was saying was insane and utterly absurd. If he tried to take what she was saying seriously, he'd go mad.
その
Junpei smiled uncomfortably.
まあ、なんだ。その話はまた今度にしようや。
He's like, oh man, we haven't been in contact since elementary school. Maybe that's for the best. Her voice trailed off and she glanced at the floor, troubled.
続きだ、続き。
Junpei tapped June gently on the shoulder and awkwardly reached around her to pick up the knife from the box. Thank you, Jesus. I would like to combine these. I used the whetstone to sharpen the knife. The blade of the knife is getting sharper by the second. I should be able to cut something pretty good with this. There we go. Look at this knife. Anyway, let's get out of here now that I've finally found it. We want to go to the stop. And we also want to combine this with the pork. What do you mean? Oh, maybe we should use the chunk of pork on the stove first. My bad. Because I put this meat on the grill. If you looked around the freezer, you should be thinking, Jesus. What are you doing? What are you going to do if the paper burns? Come on, it'll be fine. I mean, it's not like it's going to burn right away, right? You just gotta keep an eye on it and the paper will be fine. The whetstone is gone. No more, no more. If you use stuff, it just kind of disappears. They can argue all they want. I'm gonna keep an eye on this pork. Looks like it's about time. I'm gonna try taking the paper out. Jumpy, be careful. It's beautiful to care, but I know what I'm... Yeah. Hurting yourself, that's what you're doing. See? Told you. What the hell are you doing? Hurry up and take the paper out. It's not coming out. This thing's frozen stiff, I can't get it out. So we're going to have to cut the meat? Looks that way. I mean, I do have a knife now, so... Huh? Now that I've sharpened the knife, cut the pork. Awesome, Junpei. Now we can cut out the paper. Pork node C plus 10 plus F. Okay. I am C plus 10 plus F. Do you think this follows the same reason as before? Let me think. Okay, and where am I gonna use that? Oh, here maybe. Okay, gotcha. The display area. Okay, can I just press whatever the fuck I want, or? It's probably what you're supposed to use to enter the password. Maybe you put in the right number, will open the oven door. Maybe you don't know what you found earlier. Yeah, I know. You know how to enter those numbers. I think E is for enter and C is for clearing. Basically, when I'm ready to submit, yes. Screwdriver just for C, right? Yeah. Okay. So do I put in the whole thing again? 2. No, right? Oh my god. Ah, no. Okay, okay. Gotcha. They want the full number. Yeah, there we go. That sounds easy! Hell yeah, it is. Good evening! Sounds like metal is falling. Well, I guess that went well. Well, open the damn thing then. Yeah, the door opened! Good job, Jumpy. Thank you. That is a key card. The Saturn key card. Okay, let's get out of here then. Which door is the exit door? This one. It's good fully reset and translated. Oh, thanks to this dang room. Well, see, no one, let no one ever say that you don't learn stuff from video games. Yes, I think it's unlocked now. You did it, Jumpy. Let's get out of here. Yes, please. Please. Let's get out of here. Oh, you found it. You learned more from video games in high school. A metal grate stretched from wall to wall. Beyond it were 2 elevators and the entrance to the kitchen.
エレベーターがあっちにあるってことは。
あっちのドアから厨房に入ってこっちのドアから出てきたって
Like you checked early on the map.
やっぱり船内マップは正しかったんですね。
Nobody usually does that. Ah, short hair. Wait. Hold on. There we go. Even learned how to cut hair from my streams. Listen to these thoughts afterwards compared to notice I did not play Tetris. Oh. I suck at Tetris. Actually, it's not a very calming game for me.
みたいだな。
それじゃあそのマップを使って作戦会議でもするか。
作戦会議？
ああ、この先の進路を決めるためには必要だろ
そうだな。ちゃちゃっとやっちまおう。
見たところルートは4つ考えられるな。仮にこれらを ABCD としよう。まずは A と B についてだが
A と B は両方とも L 字型の部屋につながっているようですね。
ああ。だがその2枚の扉は両方とも鍵がかかってて開かなかった。
次に C 方向の通路だが大階段の方に伸びてるな。
例のナンバリングドア5の扉の方か。
じゃあ別れた他の4人はこの通路の先に？
いえ、多分もういないと思うわ。
どうしてですか？
見て、階段の方。ゲートが開いてるでしょ。さっき厨房に入る前に見た時には閉まってたはず。だけど今は開いてる。ということは
あの4人が開いたってことか。
多分ね。
どっちにしろ C 方向に進めば後戻りだ。
あまり意味がありませんね。
Well, that makes it easier to see where we're going, no? All four looked at the map. They all looked at the staircase as lazy curve leading down deep into the ship.
D ね。
D だな。
D ですね。
よし、
D
決まりだ。
D だ。Down D stairs. They joked down the stairs until they reached the C deck.
C デッキか。
念のためもう一つ下のフロアも確かめてみようぜ。
D だ。
やっぱりか。D デッキは完全に水没しちまってるんだな。
あの大階段の下と同じですね。
The water gazed back at them, its smooth surface like a great mirror.
水位がさほど変わっていないのが唯一の救いだな。
そうね。
そんじゃとりあえず C デッキに戻るか。
さてと、ここには何があるのかなと。
階段の正面にエレベーターがありますね。上のフロアにあったのと同じものみたいです。
いや、上のやつとは微妙に違うみたいだぞ。ほら、扉の間にカードリーダーが設置されてる。
またこの妙なマーク。
これはヤシロのマークだな。
は？
メスのマークに鬼のような角が生えてる。
He actually says it out loud while she's there as well. I'm surprised. I thought he would only say this when he's not on a route with her. What did he think would happen? Notice her taking hold of Junpei's hair. She began to shake him violently, and he thought he heard a low growl coming from her throat.
それでマークが何ですって？
なんでもないです。
Like, it's one thing if he says it while she's not there, but... such violence. Junpei began to wonder if she was not the devil itself. With an uncomfortable smile, June
こ
spoke
れ
up.
は水星のマークですよ。角のように見えるのはヘルメスの杖の翼を模したものです。
ヘルメスだかヘルペスだか知らねえな。
I don't even know what to say to that.
とにかくこの装置を何とかしない限りエレベーターは動きそうにねえな。
I'm fine.
つまり水星のマークが記されたカードキーが必要ってことね。
多分そういうことだろ
I just didn't expect that.
ま、しょうがないわね。エレベーターは諦めましょう。
こっちの左側の通路はどうなんだ？
ああ、扉だらけですね。
I'm honestly just hoping for them to meet up with the other group again. They weren't sure how many, but certainly enough to be discouraging.
おいおい、こんなもんいちいち調べてたら日が暮れちまうぜ。
日はもう暮れてると思いますけど。
沈むとしたら太陽じゃなくて船の方だろうな。
だったらなおさらやばいだろうが。
とりあえずこっちの通路は後回しね。その前に 反対側を調べてみましょう。
それじゃ来た道を引き返すか。
To the right was a small
今度は
hallway.
右側に行ってみるか。
Quickly, they headed into it. It was approximately the same size as the alcove in front of the stairs. The hallway led toward the stern, and at its end was a set of double
ここ
doors.
も扉か。まあ4枚だけならさっきよりははるかにマシだが。
Just, I want you to check something. We're almost there, yeah. Almost.
開けてみましょう。
よし、そこの一番近いところから行ってみるか。
Junpei nodded and grabbed the one closest to him. He gave it a small tug and felt it
鍵
move.
はかかってないな。
Philip found an unlocked door. He threw it open. Ja 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 ja. Junpei didn't know what to make of what he saw.
な
He simply stood, unable to speak. The other simply stared, open-mouthed. Open-mouthed. After a few long moments, Santa managed to speak.
おい、一体何なんだここは。このだだっ広い空間はよ。
A massive room stretched out in front of them, more a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and it bore down on the four companions. It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds.
端から端までびっしりと。
They were simple things, little more than pipe and thin mattresses.
病室でしょうか。
He had at last been able to put a name to the harsh scent that pervaded the room.
確かに。消毒液の匂い
If
が
you
する
can
わ
call
ね
it a bad, yeah.
そうかもな。薬品やら医療器具の置かれた棚もあるし。
いや、それよりも奥の壁にあるあの4枚の扉。
Three of them were emblazoned with large single-digit numbers made with thick red paint.
左端の扉には3。一つ飛ばして左から3番目の扉には7。そして一番右側の扉には8。間違いない。ナンバリングドアだ。
なあ、3と7の間の扉にだけこいつは一体何を意味してるんだ。
Find out.
考えてもわかんね
I mean, we know already,
今は
but
とにか
you'll
く
find out.
扉を調べてみよ
ええ、そうね。
Jimmy headed towards the doors, weaving his way between the beds. He started with door 3 on the left and moved to the right until he reached door 8. Of course they're not going to open the numbered doors. Numbered doors, whatever.
やっぱりダメですね。
We have clearly established rules, but let's try again anyway, just to be safe.
そりゃそうよ。あっさり開いちゃったらノナリゲームが成立しなくなるもの。レッドで認証しない限り、ナンバリングドアは。って、あれ？
う。どうしたんだ？
見てよ。レッドの表示板のところ。サインが出てないわ。
サイン？
ほら、大階段のところのレッドには出てたじゃない？誰も入ってない時には、ベイケントって。
ああ、そういえば確かに。
Same explanation, just with different
でも
people.
今は。
何も表示されてませんね。
でしょ？
ぶっ壊れてんのかな。
試してみよ
無反応。
All four took turns placing their hands over the red, but it refused to respond. They pulled at the lever and still it did nothing. As they soon discovered, it wasn't only the red for door 8 that was behaving strangely.
う。7の扉のレッドも3の扉のレッドもか。
全部同じように機能していないなんて。
こいつは一体どういうことだよ。
やっぱりだ。ぶっ壊れてんだよ。ゼロの野郎のメンテナンス不足だな。
そんなバカな。ありえないわ。ここまで用意周到に準備してきたゼロが、こんな初歩的なところでミスを犯すと思う？
つったって、動かねえもんは動かねえんだしさ。
It was at that moment that they heard a voice from behind them.
基盤が抜き取られてるみたいだよ。
They spun around to see,
ニールス
but it was more than just Snake.
一宮四つ葉セブンも。
Although they were glad to see one another, it wasn't terribly surprising that they had. If it had been the other party who'd opened the gate in front of the kitchen, it wasn't unreasonable that they'd bump into one another eventually. The rest of Snake's team, however, did look rather
どう
surprised.
して
Hi TK, good
なん
evening.
でお前らが
こんなところに。
それはこっちが聞きたいぜ。
では、お互い情報交換といこうか。
After a moment of silence and surprise, everyone suddenly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. They talked about the rooms they'd been through and how they'd ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were happy to simply see one another again. Although the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person, each one of them was wearing some manner of smile, almost as though they had already forgotten about the death of the Ninth Man. No, thought Junpei, perhaps that wasn't it. Perhaps thoughts of his death were what drove them to smile at one another. Not in a morbid or hateful way, no. The Ninth Man had died. They were still alive, and that was something to be happy about. A sort of simple, uncomplicated joy, Junpei thought, the joy of being alive. Still alive. He felt sorry for the Ninth Man, but more than anything, Junpei was just happy to be alive.
というわけなんだ。
You're half of the story, which is very nice. Which should mean that shortly after this point, we're going to end up here. But until then, it's going to take a while, and then the story is like, okay, where do you want to go? So I'm simply going to use this chance. Let me try this again. Yes. Told them both first and third person at the same time. Yeah, most of the time it's like, okay, you're following Junpei, and these are his thoughts. And then some other times it's like, oh, this is what everyone was doing. This is what everyone was feeling. I do like it though. I think it works. I think it works in the sense that you really get a feel for it anyway. So I do like it. I do vastly prefer stories more in third person. I started reading a book that was completely in first person, and tell you what, I've gotten through like 5 chapters. The chapters are not very long. Like maybe half an hour into it, and it's not clicking for me. I'm like, I've tried on 4 separate days, and I've read like 1 or 2, and I'm like, It depends on how it's written. It depends on how it's written. It's not to say that a story in first person cannot be written well. It's just, if it's very harsh to get into it if it's not written in a way that I enjoy. And this one, I'm like, That's not to say that they're all bad. I will check out yours as soon as I get a chance, actually. But for now, we've gone way overboard. Oh my god, we've gone way longer than I thought we would. But that means next time we'll try and get through some more rooms that... No, I think rooms we've already seen. I think that's the path we're going to take. I'll have to see which path we're going to take to our next ending. But for now, that is going to be it. Thank you so much for coming by. Have a good night. I won't be able to stream tomorrow, but I hope maybe on Thursday. For now, have a good night. I'll see you all soon. And bye-bye. Bye-bye. Rooms. We have also seen some rooms, yes.